Vibrating too much, you could break a hood hinge. Look how bad that thing's bouncing around. All
right, what's up? What's up? We're going to try this out.
I thought that thing was bouncing around. Look how bad that thing's bouncing. We need to get it to into the stage here, get it taped down.
So I'm kind of doing two different channels on my regular channel and my sports channel. We are 19 laps into the 65 laps of stage 2, 84 total laps in the 200 Daytona 500. But I hope everybody's doing great, whoever comes in. I appreciate each and every one of you guys.
Sounds like an auctioneer, but that information and having it repetitive like that is more valuable than what you think. It's everything, every second things are changing. So hearing that information, even if it's the same thing, just reiterates to that driver what's going on.
Well, the other side of that is you don't want to get out too far. You're running half, three-quarter. You don't want to get about a car length and a half, somebody can come in and fill that void. Yeah, and if you get out too far, by the time he catches you, he's got to hit the brakes. Well, guess what? That stacks up the whole line.
Go with you, man. With you. You're clear.
Both drivers leading these two lanes, Keselowski on the inside, the 10, Eric Almirola on the outside, have each come within 1 mile of winning the Daytona 500.
So Keselowski is in the lead right now with Priest. Then it's Harvick, McDowell, Almirola, Truex Jr., Cindric, Byron, Busher is your top 10. And now they go to commercial. So I need to mute that so we don't get in trouble with copyright. And now they go to commercial. I need to mute that so we don't get in trouble with copyright. But this is not side by side, so I just gotta wait and hope that someone kind of comes in and talks it up a little bit. So we will do it like this here. But this is not side by side, so I just gotta wait and hope that someone kind of comes in and talks it up a little bit. So right now we got Brad Keselowski, Priest, Harvick, Michael McDowell, Eric Almirola, Truex. Truex in 7th, Byron, Busher, and Kyle Busch round out your top 10. Todd Gilliland, Eric Jones, Joey Logano, Jimmy Johnson, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Chase Elliott, your top 20. Followed by Ty Gibbs, Justin Haley, Alex Bowman, Ross Chastain, Christopher Bell, AJ Allmendinger, Harrison Burton, Noah Gragson, Chase Briscoe, Daniel Suarez, Corey LaJoie, Austin Dillon, Cody Ware, Bubba Wallace back in 34th, Zane Smith, Travis Pastrana, Riley Herbst, DJ McLeod, Connor Daly, and Ty Dillon. Your 40 drivers today. But your top 3 is Brad Keselowski, Ryan Pierce, and Kevin Harvick. But we're only, let's see here, go back to the stat line. Lap 89 out of 200. Go here and get some hashtags put in. We'll be doing game audio, race audio from the TV once it comes back, just not in commercials. Charlotte Flair was there.
Pre-race
Saturday Night
was
SmackDown.
celebrity packed.
Larry Fitzgerald.
NFL stars on hand. There's your honorary starter. Loving it. Receiver Brandon Marshall. 20-man Pete Davidson. Truex fan taking it all in during Daytona pre-race. And Michael Jordan came out and talked to his team before the 500. Celebrating a birthday this weekend. What a cool cat. So neat that he's a part of this sport. 90 laps to go, 10 laps to halfway.
So
Christopher Bell, like
we are lap 40 to go on stage racing number 2.
Alex Bowman 11 in his Chevrolet. Kyle Larson 6 in his Chevy, and Ford has led the rest. Not the most laps, but they were in front at the
Yeah, Truex peeping out of there in spot 5.
Kyle Busch has inserted
Almirola
himself
is up
into the
6th,
top 10,
and Kyle Busch
starting
is
out
6th
back
place
in
right
the
now.
backup car, Josh.
Yeah, Kyle Busch, the biggest mover on the day. Before that last stop, he was saying he was too tight and made an adjustment to help him out. He said the balance is much better, but he needs just a little bit more on that last adjustment to get it where he wants, Jamie.
And Josh, how about the man in second right now, Ryan Preece in the 41? He was in the Cup Series for 3 years, stepped aside for a couple of years, ran in some truck races, and waited it out. He wanted to make his way back to the Cup Series in a competitive ride. Now here he is, the Connecticut driver, has come back to
So
the
I
Cup
don't
Series
really
thanks
know-
to our own Tony Stewart calling him up to drive for SHR. And you see that man on the right, Chad Johnston. He even brought him back to the Cup Series. You may know Chad from working with Martin Truex Jr., Tony Stewart, and
Kind of putting this on 2 separate channels right now.
Yes, it is. I'm excited about Ryan. His record speaks for itself. Up in the Northeast, he is awesome in modifieds, and excited to have him. Excited to have Chad Johnston back with us. Probably one of the most fun crew chiefs I've ever worked with was Chad. So I think this is going to be a really good pairing this year.
Jimmy Johnson is also in the
Shows
top
me
10
both
after
of them.
getting into the Daytona 500 on speed and starting in the last row. He's in 10th place. Now, he's going to run about 5 races this year for a team in which he is now an equity partner.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I can't believe he's in the top 10. Such a phenomenal job by Jimmy to step in this thing. No practice, one dual race.
Yeah,
And if
Johnson
you're running
right
inside the
now
top 10
is up
again
to
after 2 years
9th.
being removed from this sport, you can't count him out.
Do we have to remind you he won 7
I know.
championships?
I know.
I'm fairly certain he could go across the Lake Lloyd and walk across it. Not swim across it, walk across it.
Johnson may be the oldest driver in the field, but his part-time Cup career started late in 2001. 2002 was his rookie year. This is the first Daytona 500 in which no driver competed against Dale Earnhardt. There's Jimmy's record
7-time
so
Cup
far.
Series
He's now
champion,
part of Legacy
83
Motorsports.
career
And just
wins,
to
6th all-time.
a little
2-time
bit of
Daytona
Chad
500
Johnson's
winner
stadium
in
Richard
06 and
Petty
2013.
was a partner in this team. It was Petty GMS Racing with Maury Gallagher, and it was reported this
Still got
morning
Keselowski
Richard
leading the
sold his
way.
interest in the team
First 2 cars single filed, and everybody else after that is
Jimmy Johnson
double.
came on as an equity partner. So Richard out, Jimmy in. Those two were not related. Larry.
Yeah, Mike, 75th anniversary of NASCAR. Here's a Larry McNugget for you at lap 94. The 84 number has never won a cup race in the history of NASCAR. Finished second, but never won.
Did you tell Jimmy that before he selected him?
I did not.
Well,
Truex on that high side trying to bring Kyle Busch
Jimmy said
and
he chose
Almirola
84,
with
not
them.
just because it's the reverse of the 48 with which he won 7 championships, but all through his career. From motocross bikes on up, the digits 8 and 4 had always held special meaning for him. So he is number 84, and he may change that statistic. 5 laps from halfway in the 65th Daytona 500.
The commercial break. So I'll mute it. But appreciate everybody coming out, hanging out with me today to watch Daytona. Still got Keselowski, Priest, Harvick, McDowell, and Eric Jones is your top 5. Eric Jones driving that 43 for Legacy Motor Club. I will probably always call it Petty Motorsports. But your top 4 right now is all Fords when yesterday Chevy dominated the show most of the race. Truex back there in 6th place and with the Toyota. So your top 10 right now, we will show Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Chevy, then a Ford. So we got Keselowski, Priest, Harvick, McDowell, Jones, Johnson, Truex Jr. with Kyle Busch 8th, Larson, Almirola. Race is back on.
Locked together, leading Kevin Harvick, Michael McDowell, and Eric Jones behind 4-4. Now the outside lane has changed. Eric Almirola was leading it. Martin Truex has gone to the front of the outside lane. Kyle Busch behind him, but that Toyota Chevy combination has fallen back in the field compared to the inside. Getting close again towards the end stage.
So your top 4 is all Fords, followed by Chevy, Toyota, Chevy.
Then Thunderbirds, I'm telling you, showed up.
Right now, Busch is back in 11th place. We got 4 people watching right now. Appreciate each and every one of you guys.
Awesome to see. Tony, I thought that guy was coming in here with us.
I thought they were coming into motorhome yesterday morning when they were doing their practice flight. It was amazing to hear those guys and to see the show today. They definitely show why we're the best nation in the world right now.
Connor Daly stays up high so that outside lane can move past without incident. But they are not gaining on the inside lane. Now this is just the opposite.
Yeah, that inside lane is a hoss tonight so far, and you got the top groove that just sits there with, I believe that's Truex. Busch that's up high, trying to bring him along, and that low line is definitely working a whole lot better. They still got 30 laps to go in the stage 2. We're lap 101 out of 200, so 99 laps left.
We all know that the big one's going to be a part of this. If you can get you 7, 8, 9, 12, 15 stage points, and you get wrecked out, it doesn't hurt as bad.
Now you got Priest shoving Keselowski into turn 1, coming out of turn 2.
You don't get that either, you got yourself a big hole to dig out of. It takes months to do it.
I've argued with our guys numerous times of you want to sit there a lot of times and go for the end and get those points at the end, but it's never a guarantee. So if you can get those points at each stage,
high line's moving a little bit better with Busch being pushed by Almirola.
Now Martin Truex has been dropped to the bottom, leaving Kyle Busch to lead the outside lane. There is a graph of his days
Number
so
2 car
Tyler Reddick
show up there.
pulled up And he didn't pull up. That's that tied off of 4 that I'm talking about. In the wake of these cars, you get tied off of 4. A lot of them complained about that after the duels.
Your help is now clear for the top.
Here you live.
Tyler Reddick right now is currently 8th place, where he started 26th, finished 19th in stage 1.
Reddick last year drove a Chevrolet for Richard Childress after winning the Xfinity Series championship. Moved up the Cup, had a great season, but Toyota came calling. 2311 Racing signed him once Kurt Busch was no longer cleared to compete full time, and so Reddick and Kyle Busch have essentially swapped rides for 2023.
Well, I've been doing this long, Mike, but I've been doing it long enough that I think I can get close, and I'm a quick learner. They split that last stage in half, and I think they're going to do the same thing. That tells me it's
Got
going to
2
be
people
somewhere
watching
around
right now.
06. Still got a couple laps, but it's going to be soon.
And while we wait for them to make pit stops, how about a NASCAR Daytona 500?
So we got 27 laps to go in stage 2. We're lap 104 out of 200.
Back to the 4 on you. On you. Outside, I've got a slow car top. 10 rows up. Skipping bottom and 3 for 1 row.
Eric Jones is 5th place. Jimmy Johnson 6th.
3 wide bar, 3 clean.
So we got Keselowski, Priest, Harvick, McDowell, and Jones, your top 5, followed by Johnson, Larson, Reddick, Stenhouse Jr., and Truex, your top 10, followed by Haley, Byron, Bowman, Bush, Almirola, and Austin Cedric. Cindric.
Mark about 104. Quarter front. And your help 42. Maintaining half.
Lap 105. Coach Plays, what's up? What's up? I don't know which side you are watching on. It doesn't let me know, but it just lets me know whoever comments on both sides. So I can see comments from the Carver Family channel, and I can see comments from the Carver Sports Talk channel. So it's pretty neat. I can talk to both channels at the same time. I just don't know who's commenting on what side. I just know total I got 7 people watching. Yep, that's the Carver Family side. Right now, live chat is 6 people watching on the Carver Family side, and nobody is watching on the Carver Sports Talk.
You heard at the tail end of that. We're going to be the second group. They're talking about it. I don't think we'll be long.
Brad Keselowski and the Fords hit the pit road the first time.
Yeah.
And it was the Chevys and it was the Toyotas.
So 24 laps to go in stage 1. We're lap 107 out of 200. Keselowski is stinking up the field right now. 9 people in the room.
From Jack Roush and Fenway Sports Group, and this team last year started a rebuild. He continues.
Keselowski, here comes pitting.
Big crowd of cars coming to pit road this time. Almost half the field.
Led by
The other ones. It's a Chevy
Jones
boys.
in the 43.
18 cars come to pit road.
A
Josh.
mess up there. Chastain getting the tear off.
Saying his car a little
Filling
tight,
it
but
up.
not too bad.
Kyle Larson pitted. Kyle Busch pitted.
You're only for most of these teams.
Jimmy Johnson has pitted. Chase Elliott.
And Todd Gordon with a call for Jimmy Johnson in the 84. He's been pretty happy with the car, just a little free early.
Ooh,
on.
42 car. Grayson almost contact. The 99 Tootsie car.
Green flag pit stops.
So it looks like group number 1. Are they coming in? Nope, they're staying out. Keselowski and company is still staying out.
And they
Going
get
another
ready
round.
before the leaders can get close enough to snip a draft off those cars. And Kyle Busch is too fast exiting his pit.
Kyle
He'll have
Busch
to do a pass-through
gonna have to do a pass through. That's going to hurt him.
The only saving grace to that
He's
is
going to go a lap down.
22 laps to the end of the stage, and hopefully he can hang on if he can get out and get tucked back in this group and try to get the lucky out.
38 cars waving, so it looks like he's going to be going to the pits.
Costly penalty for Kyle Busch. Maybe we'll see somebody have trouble. Might get a caution. You heard Denny Hamlin talk about luck. Here comes
22
forward.
laps to go in stage 2. Lap 109 out of 200.
Group, though. Only 6 cars coming to pit road. Led by Keselowski and Priest. Regan.
Eric Almirola been very fast all day long. That race car just a little bit too tight off the turn 4 for him right now. Josh. So Brad Keselowski has led the most laps with 35 on the day. Said he's happy with his car. Got fuel and tires, Jamie.
And Ryan Priest in the 41, fuel only, tight bond with that pit
So
crew.
34 car is up and away.
And they are nailing it
You got
so
1,
far.
2,
It's just
3,
Michael
4, 5,
McDowell
6
for
cars
his
coming
son.
off pit road
Priest gets out
together.
first because he took fuel and Keselowski chose to take 2 tires. Just Kyle Busch making his penalty drive.
All right, here comes some more. You got Kevin Harvick.
Kevin Harvick said this may be the
Switch
best.
videos on me.
Ronnie Childers said this may be the best car him and Kevin Harvick have had here in Daytona. Kevin, I think, agrees right now. He is still silent on the radio. Gas only. Jamie.
A lot of quiet drivers on the radio. Mark Truex Jr.
It's Harvick off and away.
Earlier, really happy with his car this week, but they thought it would take a hit when it came to racing here this year with the change to the nose. But they've been running
There's
really
20
well.
car.
The 19 Truex happy with that.
Truex is away.
All the Toyotas plus Kevin Harvick.
Gibbs. Looked like Pastrana was in that group.
Turn 4. Brakes and paint are set. You'll count fuel only. Don't put your
Looks like
tires.
Blaney's coming in.
Regan.
Mike Joey Logano with the 22 car. Really been struggling to handle it just a little bit on that race car. It can't get to
Wood
the
Brothers
bumpers
car,
in
the
front of him
Stenhouse.
like he would like, so some adjustments there, fuel only for him.
So we got this green flag pit stops that's shaking things up. So we got 19 laps to go in stage 2 racing.
Pretty happy with the car. It's a little tight early
Pretty
on.
tame
They
racing
went
right
with
now.
Air pressure adjustment, no tires. You see the tear up on the windshield for clear vision. No fuel to make it to the end of the stage.
So this entire group, fuel only.
See the 4 car there? I like that move by Rodney Childers. He pitted Kevin Harvick for the Toyotas, and I think because he saw the efficiency of that smaller group pitting in that first stage, they outperformed those guys. I think Rodney Childers saw that and made that move.
For Joey Logano. Will hang on to the lead from Chris Buescher, Ryan Blaney, and Austin Cindric.
So right now, as I go to commercial break, everything's going to be sorting through, but it shows Joey Logano in the lead with Chris Buescher, Ryan Blaney, Mark Truex Jr., Tyler Reddick, Kevin Harvick, Ty Gibbs, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Priest, and Brad Keselowski, your top 10. And that's going to follow by Kyle Larson, Eric Jones, William Byron, Ross Chastain, Alex Bowman, Chase Elliott, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Austin Cindric, and Eric Almirola, and AJ Allmendinger, your top 20. The rest of the guys is Chase Briscoe, Michael McDowell, Justin Haley, Daniel Suarez, Todd Gilliland, Jimmy Johnson back to 26, Austin Dillon, Corey LaJoy, Harrison Burton, Christopher Bell, Noah Grayson, Cody Ware, Kyle Busch back in 33rd, Zane Smith, Bubba Wallace back in 35th, Travis Pastrana, Riley Herbst, BJ McLeod, Connor Daly, Ty Dillon, your 40 drivers. Right now, let's see, Ty Dillon, 87 laps down. So, we go up top here. So we got Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, and Truex Jr., Ty Gibbs, Kyle Larson, your top 5 as of right now. Got 6 people in the room. What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great Sunday. Racing last night was really good. I liked the Xfinity Series race. Not too crazy how it ended because such a weird way to end a race. How you like get your scoring loops when the caution comes out, who's leading. It's all about when they want to throw that caution flag. So to me, I figured Tyler Reddick was in the lead last night. Was it Tyler Reddick, 7 car? I can't remember.
The Daytona 500 on Fox is sponsored by the Credit One Bank NASCAR American Express car and by Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
All right, they're all bunched up now.
Joey Logano leading Ryan Blaney and Martin Truex.
I love the look of Blaney's car.
As the field sorted out after pit stops and everybody got in line, things got a little dicey right here.
Center
We're
replay.
watching this
Blaney,
they're catching the guys that have already come off of pit road and haven't got up to speed yet. And all those cars
Truex Jr. giving Blaney a good little shove there.
Trying to not get run over in that scenario.
How about Blaney? You know that spot he had an ear.
Buscher's up on the outside next to Logano. Now Buscher takes the lead. You got Ty Gibbs in the 45 Toyota right behind him. Blaney's down to 4th place on the inside.
Chris Buscher, the Texan, back to the front.
So we got 14 laps to go in stage 2 racing, 117 laps in out of 200.
More lead changes today than in all of 4 of the last 500s. Brad Keselowski was the leader at the end of stage 1. Now he's still in the mix, but he's back to 22nd.
Well, Tyler Reddick is up there, not Gibbs. Those cars look so much alike.
Chris Buscher, he's got a fast car. RFK has a fast car. It's literally like deja vu.
So Kyle Busch back in 33rd getting lapped
Daytona, and they were bad fast, exactly like they
with
were
his
a year
too fast exiting pit road has really hurt him.
In the draft, he's going to try to find a way to get in after serving his
Kyle Busch
penalty
kind
for
of
speeding
trying to force
at
himself
first
up in there, and it's about to cause a wreck. So we got Buscher, Logano, Reddick, Blaney, Harvick, your top 5. Truex Jr., Chastain, Bowman, Gibbs, Almirola is your top 10. And they're going back to another commercial. They're trying to get their whole commercial sides in the first. Oh, there's the wreck right there. Tyler Reddick up in the wall. Blaney's in the wall, and there's like, man, it's the big one. Oh, 43 car just slammed it. Man, the 99, he's backed into the wall. There's 43. Chase Elliott's in the wreck. They need to get off commercial break right now. As far as he's looks all right, but Reddick's tore it up on his right front. Looks like that right front tire is not moving that good. The 12 car of Blaney, he's bad damage on the front. That front tire is not turning good. 43 car of Eric Jones, and a lot of damage to Chase Elliott. His left front tire, left front is dented up pretty badly. So Blaney's team is in pit road trying to get that car surveyed out. Chase Elliott's on pit road now. So a lot of good drivers has been caught up in this wreck. Right now, you can tell your top 10 is Buscher, Logano, Truex Jr., Harvick, Gibbs, Bowman, Almirola, Byron, Stenhouse, and Larson is your top 10. But Blaney, rough day for Blaney and Chase Elliott as they get caught up in that wreck. And Tyler Reddick's 45 car back in the back, barely moving. But took out a lot of good cars in this one here. But I'm pretty sure that will not be the only big one that we have today. But Ty Gibbs is moved up to 5th place. Bowman, Almirola, Byron, Burton, is 17th. So Bowman's up to 7th place. Almirola on the 8th. It kind of screws me up a little bit how they do the little scorecard up the top, the standings. So Tyler Reddick, they're going to have to load that thing up on the flatbed to get it out of there. Got to tow it back. It's not moving. $11 laps to go in stage 2. We are lap 120 out of 200. Got 7 people up in here. What's up? What's up? The 43 car, the Guns N' Roses, is backing up.
Side-by-side coverage. This Daytona 500 has been a tough one for the 12 of Ryan Blaney and for the
See what happened here.
Tyler Reddick.
Where we need to watch is this 45 car and the 4 car on the
Looked
outside.
like Harvick is getting in the back of the 45.
Kevin closes
Yep.
in contact with the
Boom.
45. That's what also catches the 12.
12 couldn't get by, and a 88 car, 48 car just makes it. Chase Elliott gets contact in there. Suarez don't look too bad of damage, but anything in Daytona is pretty rough.
Unfortunately, turning right in this one.
Let's listen to Harvick here.
Oh, yeah, you touched him.
Man, did you see how close Chastain was to that?
Eric Jones, Chase Elliott.
Eric Jones, when he backed up the track, that's what collected Chase Elliott.
Whereas the outside pretty hard. 9.
Yeah, Harvick, a veteran, just got in the back of him in the turn and got him just bumped him enough to just get him turned around. Tore up a lot of good cars in that one kind of incident that didn't have to happen. So Kyle Larson also probably got some damage since he got caught up and went through the grass. Ross Chastain working at wheel trying to get it through the crash. Man, I hate it for Blaney. Blaney and Elliott, man. I was going for Blaney today. Heartbreaking. Tore up a lot of good cars just then. So, since we're on a break, I'll go to the rundown as of right now. First place is Chris Buescher, Joey Logano, Martin Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick, Ty Gibbs is your top 5. Ross Chastain, Alex Bowman, Kyle Larson, Eric Almirola, William Byron is your top 10. Then Ricky Stenhouse, Denny Hamlin, Austin Cindric, Ryan Preece, AJ Allmendinger, Brad Keselowski, Harrison Burton, Daniel Suarez, Jimmy Johnson 19th, and Todd Gilliland 20th. And notables, Corey LaJoie 23rd, Austin Dillon 25th, Christopher Bell 26th, Noah Gragson 27th, Bubba Wallace back in 29th, Kyle Busch back in 30th. Both of those cars are both 2 laps down. Travis Pastrana right now 32nd, 2 laps down. Ryan Blaney, as of right now, 2 laps down due to having to work on his car. So caution is out because big wreck started by Kevin Harvick. Oh, happy Harvick. So, just to me, it's just one of it's a racing deal, restrictor plate racing. But to go into a turn and kind of bumping a guy into turn while the wheels are turning doesn't take much. One little pop and cars go everywhere. So we got 7 thumbs up. Appreciate each and every one of you guys that has came in.
Aerial coverage is provided by Goodyear. powering every lap, every mile, and every victory on the road ahead. Goodyear, more driven. Tyler Reddick's Toyota got a bump from Kevin Harvick.
Chase Elliott
Blaney involved.
is being
Chase
pulled
Elliott,
back
Daniel
to the
Suarez,
back.
Eric Jones, all with damage.
So his day is done unless they fix up.
Kyle Larson also got a little bit of that.
So involved in the wreck is Harvick, Larson, Elliott, Blaney, Truex, Jones, Reddick, and Suarez. Looked like a whole lot more than that got caught up in it.
Yeah, and they continue to work on Blaney's car. There's extensive damage on the right front. But Jonathan Hassler, his crew chief, just said, we've got a plan. We've got time here. Let's just bring it in as many times as we need to fix it up. You see that hood is all buckled too. And the 9 of Chase Elliott, Mike, just a little update. They said that left rear A-arm was absolutely destroyed, and that ended their day.
Tough break for NASCAR's most popular driver. Elliott and Blaney were the favorites at the sports books to win the Daytona 500.
That's rough,
and
man.
The Corvette Z06 pace car has some laps.
So we got drivers coming into pit road and some is staying out.
Pit road is open. Regan.
Fun discussion on Kevin Harvick's radio. Do we want to stay out and get stage points or pit now, which would help us win this race in terms of track position? At the end of the stage, they obviously decide to pit. Eric Almirola, that car just a little bit tight off at turn 4 right. Josh.
Larson.
Larson is getting 4 tires. They're going to look
8 laps to go in stage 2.
In that last wreck, if it's fine, they're going to send him out. Jamie?
Chris Buescher in the 17, he said, this car is pretty stable. We're going to have some good opportunities here, so certainly keep your eye on him.
Eight laps to go in stage 2. So it looks as if the casualties from this incident will be Chase Elliott, Tyler Reddick, and Eric Jones. Austin Cindric is the first off pit road ahead of Denny Hamlin and Ty Gibbs. Here's what put us under caution. Kevin Harvick with a bump to Tyler Reddick.
And it just barely got into Blaney, but that's just enough to, like, he's sliding up the track, trying to keep it off the wall. Then it just gets, air gets loose and just spins him out too, trying to overcorrect it. But caution with lap 122. We're our stage 2 out of 3. So stage 2 out of 3 right now, we're lap 57 out of 65. So far, the race has been going on for 1 hour and 50 minutes. 32 lead changes out of 14 leaders, 2 cautions. And you can thank Kevin Harvick for that last one. But it feels good to have NASCAR back, especially Daytona. It's always fun to start out the year with one of my most favorite tracks. I know they always say it's luck to win Daytona, but honestly, it is a little bit of luck, mostly to stay out of the races. But it always seems like your good drivers, you're always up front. And, man, there's a lot of great drivers that's never won Daytona. So it takes a kind of special kind of people to win. You just stay out of trouble. Anything can happen at any track. But I am pulling for Jimmy Johnson. I'd love to see him put a petty cars in victory lane. Yeah, 6 people in the room. I appreciate everybody watching. Man, come in here and light up the chat, man. Let us know who you pulling for today. Who's a favorite? Who your favorite driver is, and who you guys think's gonna have a strong contender for the championship this year. But man, let's get this chat flowing, man. I like to see these people come in and start communicating, talking to each other. kind of have some good little topics going on. Argue a little bit back and forth on who's your favorite driver, who's your least favorite driver, who do you hate, who can you not stand in NASCAR. How many years you been a NASCAR fan? Come on, let's light up this chat. Man, Tyler Reddick, man. Ooh.
That's how fast. Everybody always asks you, what does it feel like? It's the fastest, most violent impact ever. It's never a really slow.
And Tyler Reddick just went forward, and you know they can't move that much in their seats. And man, he went for the ride. So pace cars off to pit road, and they are fired back up. Green flag with Logano leading the way with Truex behind him.
As we race to the end of stage 2.
6 to go in stage 2, 125 laps into this 200 lap race. You got Bowman up on top, pushing the 1 car. You got the 16 car pushing Truex, that's pushing Logano. These cars bouncing around a little bit back and forth.
Yeah, actually, it wasn't too bad at all. Yeah, just needed for the Monster Energy Toyota Camry TRD. I really felt like, we could push really well and we could actually make progress through the pack. But, yeah, I just been not really in the lead much at all today. That was really the first time I was getting any pushes in the lead.
Ross Chastain has pushed up the 3rd, Allmendinger in 4th.
Yeah, I just lost it. So,
Bowman,
if I would have known
Bale.
that earlier in the day, I probably would have been more careful about that. But that was really the first experience I had with that all day long.
Man, it's just...
Yeah, Kevin said he thought he might have hit you wrong, but you didn't feel much of a hit.
I don't know. Like I said, down the back when he got on my back,
You might not really
just
tell
didn't
much
seem
of
like,
it. Oh, man.
when I had clean air
22
there, my car was
Logano
really stable. I thought,
got
okay,
into the side of Chastain. They made a little bit of contact racing for the lead. Logano's kind of pushing up the track a little bit. But, man, these guys getting a little racy here with 5 laps to go in stage 2.
Thanks, Michael. So that puts Eric Jones, Chase Elliott, and Tyler Reddick out of the race, joining Ty Dillon in the garage area. 4 to go in stage 2.
Bowman back in 3rd place.
9 cars on the lead lap to settle it. Bubba Wallace got back on the lead lap on that caution. He got the free pass.
4 to go here. This is going to get really interesting. You don't have a power.
Man, Bowman shoving Chastain really good up high, but Truex is pushing Logano really good on the bottom.
4 to go. Who makes the move and who goes with them, more
I
importantly.
mean, you get a 16 of Allmendinger pushing right back on up. With the 20 car right behind him, a Bale.
Green number 16. Remember when A.J. Allmendinger raced his way to the lucky dog at the end of stage 1 to get back on the lead lap? Here he is in the top 5.
It was aggressive move to do.
Man, the high side is pushing really strong right now. Bowman's giving Chastain a good little bump going into turn 1.
See Ricky Stenhouse Jr. coming into the screen there.
Chastain's kind of looking like he's wanting to move to the bottom, and he does to bring in that lower line. So does he stay low? Yep, he's going to have to stay low because Bowman is going high on the. Man, Logano's shoving Chastain now.
That's what I was talking about with 3 to go. I think it's any man's game. Nobody's really paired up. To see, that's what I'll be telling him which line to go with. Who has that energy?
Man, when they're coming out of turn 4, it's just those cars just kind of moving all over the place. 2 laps to go in stage 2 racing. We're lap 129 out of 200.
Chastain spotter Brandon McReynolds.
Chastain is kind of up and down the track, kind of playing both sides, doing a lot of driving out of his mirror.
I think he wants to ride on that bottom. Here comes another run. Gonna have a decision.
Well, he's throwing the block on Logano. Logano's going to shove him down the backstretch into turn 3.
I like that, Tony. I think I'd stay on the bumper, stay with that 22, be able to push hard and aggressive.
Bowman on the outside being pushed by Stenhouse. Right now, Bowman could get the lead. Nope. Chastain will be credited for that lead. Logano's glued on that bumper. And Chastain's.
Either lane was really getting a huge advantage over the other. Eventually, they're both coming at the same time. You just got to pick one.
First time the Florida melon farmer has led the Daytona 500.
Truex in the back of Logano giving him a shove. That gives one car a shove. You get a little loose, just a little bit. This is the final lap of stage 2. We're going to get a caution after this lap.
And that's the difference. To the flag to end stage 2.
Here comes Bowman. Looks like, could Bowman get it? It looks like Bowman. Nope, Chastain.
By less than a foot. Well, let me tell you,
That was close. So Ross Chastain is your stage 2 winner.
Don't you remember that part?
I do remember. You just say it so much better than I do.
That's right.
I didn't say it better than him.
By a nose clip.
By inches.
That's close.
Ross Chastain is your stage 2 winner.
It shows we got 3 people watching right now. We got 5. We're bouncing around between 3 to 10 people at a time watching it. So I appreciate everybody that has came in and hung out with us. I'm trying to get my sports channel up and going good, but it's not doing too good right now. But if everybody could go over to the Carver Sports Talk, I only got 24 subscribers over there. But stage 2 is done. So I'll pull up how it's looking right now. So right now you get Ross Chastain, Alex Bowman, Joey Logano, Ricky Stenhouse, Austin Cindric, Martin Truex Jr., William Byron, AJ Allmendinger, Chris Buescher, and Christopher Bell, your top 10. Followed by Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, Eric Almirola, Harvick, McDowell, Priest, Ty Gibbs, Todd Gilliland, Brad Keselowski, and Corey LaJoie, your top 20. You got Harrison Burton, Haley, Suarez, Ware, Briscoe, Grace Gregson, Austin Dillon, Jimmy Johnson back to 28th. I think Johnson right now, he's just sitting back in the back, just kind of biding his time. He's a veteran. He knows how this goes. He's just kind of hanging out back there trying to stay out of trouble. Bubba Wallace is your last car on the lead lap back in 29th. Kyle Busch has made up one of his laps. He's 1 lap down. Zane Smith 1 lap down. Travis Pastrana, -2. Ryan Blaney, -2. Herbst, -2. Then you got Daly, back 5. McLeod, -8. Eric Jones behind the wall. And you got Chase Elliott, that's behind the wall. Tyler Reddick and Todd Dillon. So we're stage 3 of 3, lap 132 out of 200. With Chastain, your leader, Alex Bowman, and Ricky Stenhouse, your top 3 drivers as of right now.
Where we're going with numbers, Zane Smith won the truck race last year. He won the truck race Friday night. Austin Hill won the Xfinity Series race last year. He won the Xfinity Series race yesterday.
And Austin Cindric right now is 5th place.
It's going to all line up.
Hey guys, I feel like the Ford of Joey Logano has shown strength all day. He's been up front. He's been comfortable, hasn't had any issues. I feel like Joey Logano's the one to watch.
Yeah, I agree with Tony on that one. Logano's definitely the one to watch. Regan Smith is saying Kevin Harvick is the one to watch. He's one that you need to watch out for. He's already started a wreck tonight.
The outliers, the drivers are going to sneak up and surprise you. William Byron is driving a car whose number has won the Daytona 500 3 times. Hasn't led yet, hasn't run in the front yet, but wait till the end.
He's picking William Byron. I don't think I'd pick Byron, though. We got 3 people in the room. What's up? Look like they're going to go this time by.
Laps to go. End of the second stage. Pit road will be open this time. Let's check with Regan.
Yep. Pits right now. The whole crew's coming down for the pit road.
Right now he's tight behind other cars, and when other cars are right behind him, he gets too free. Ross Chastain, that race car just a little bit too tight. Not bad, just a small adjustment for him. Josh.
Let's see if 20 car is going to have any adjustments. Get a little tear off. 48 car, does they have any adjustments? Don't look like it. They're all both just getting 4 tires there. 22 car has to dive into the grass to miss getting hit.
Had a very close race off pit road sponsored by Ram. Eric Almirola picked up 12 positions, beating Chris Buescher to the line. William Byron +4, Kyle Larson +8.
Race off pit road, Almirola gained 12 positions. Buescher gained 7. We're lap 134 out of 200.
And longest stage. Ready for the finish of the Daytona 500. Things have been kind of frantic so far.
All right, so commercial break. What I'll do, I shall be right back. I want to get me a drink.
Okay, that's all I'm asking. Where did you spill that?
to get those lanes to move. I think that the pit sequence of when the manufacturers pit played a huge role in how that cycled out. But as we get to the end of this, we haven't seen 3-wide racing today. In order to
like
make
this
progress
here.
on the track, the guys are going to get more
Right
reps
there.
up.
That's
They
what I
wanna
want.
see more wrecks.
That way you guys can see all that. What's up? What's up? We're back. We're ending the stage 2 racing right
I
now.
don't think that we know exactly where you're going to be. Ross Chastain chose to be on the bottom. He thought that was going to be the better lane. It looked like Alex Bowman was going to beat him to the start finish line, but it was mere inches that made that. So it's going to be all about who's behind you. I think more importantly as to what lane.
But
you're
man, when you guys come in, let me know what you guys are thinking. What do you guys feel about the race so far? Who you pulling for? Who you rooting against? Right now, we've had one big one thanks to Bonehead Harvick.
Indiana collide with the third-ranked Boilermakers as Purdue looks to avenge an early season loss to the Hoosiers. That big showdown begins Saturday, 7:30 Eastern on Fox. 65 laps to go. There's Kevin Harvick riding at 7th in honor of his
Lap 132.
50 grand toward a lucky fan's retirement.
Code in here.
And other huge prizes. Follow
All right, guys, come on. We're going to get this chat room up and going. I want to know from you guys who you guys are pulling for.
During every lap that ends in 4 for your chance to win. 32 cars on the lead lap right now. Kyle Busch got the free pass.
Bubba Wallace first place, so he must stayed out.
So there is Bubba Wallace, who did not pit.
Yeah, did not pit. He's trying to get some points.
Come to the choose where each driver gets to select which lane he wishes to restart.
So right now, across the start finish line, the lights off the pace car is out. So we're going to see Bubba lead the field to the green flag.
This is where that choose cone really gets interesting back here. They're listening to them spotters. They're seeing how many cars in which line. Forget about which Chevrolets or which Fords or which Toyotas are in which. At this point, it's which cars are in which line and how many.
Tell you what, I love that car of Truex Jr. Truex got a beautiful car, and I love the Wendy's car. Probably see the Bowman car looks really good, but I think my favorite paint scheme so far is Jimmy Johnson's car. I love the blue. That blue is just beautiful.
Had an uncontrolled tire during that round of pit stops, so they will all be restarting out back.
And I like the car Noah Gregson's, his Wendy's car. He started 22nd. He's currently 25th. He had a little mishap on pits, so he's going to have to go to the back. So Bubba Wallace is going to line up on the outside with Eric Almirola on the inside of him. We're at lap 137 out of 200. The beautiful pace car is about to rip it down pit road.
Yep, but exactly what you guys said. That was a strategy play to stay out since they want to get that track position back. Remember, I mentioned before they had that rear toe link.
So you do have 24 and 17 back in the second row. Looks like that's Kyle Larson back there in the third row. So they're coming out of turn 4.
Here is the Geico restart zone. The control car, which is Bubba Wallace, gets to choose where he.
There goes the pace car, ripping it to the pit road, and here comes Bubba, leading the field. Hope he doesn't wreck everybody. So right now, William Byron is pushing Bubba up on the high line. Let's see if Bubba goes down to the bottom. Let's see if he stays at the bottom or does he go up top. Oh, Bubba jumps up in front of Byron, but that's going to let the low lane come in. Byron's shoving Bubba down the back stretch. Byron's kind of getting Bubba loose down the back stretch, and you get Almirola is taking the lead. He's getting a good little stretch on. So coming out of turn 4, they're pushing 186, 187.
Eric Almirola, one of 16 different leaders in this Daytona 500. 38 lead changes now.
62 laps to go. Busher is shoving Almirola down the backstretch. So far, that bottom line is hooking up right now. Bubba in the top line is struggling.
All right, thanks to Wendy's. We're going to take a ride with
So we got Almirola, Busher, Larson, and Harvick. The Wendy's car, Gregson, is coming up there to pack pretty quick. Right now, he's right behind Logano back in the pack. So yellow flag is out.
Second caution for cause of this Daytona 500. And it comes at lap 140.
A tire.
There is the debris.
Fairly substantial chunk of it.
So that's a 12 car Ryan Blaney running on rims right now.
Do
So
it for Ryan Blaney.
he blew that tire up.
Car. Apparently something rubbed on that tire, cut it, and it came off the rim and onto the racetrack. Blaney, of course, was involved in that big accident at lap 119, but was able to make repairs.
Get 6 people up in here tonight. What's up? What's up? What's up? Hope everybody's doing good.
We'll take you Fox side by side.
Appreciate everybody coming in. Much appreciated. I know you guys are here for the race and not me, and that's okay. But I hope you guys keep coming back, joining for my live streams, video games, and everything else that we do. All right, so we'll go over here. We'll see how the top 20 is looking right now. Eric Almirola is leading the race, followed by Chris Busher, Kevin Harvick, Bubba Wallace, Kyle Larson is your top 5. 6th through 10th is Denny Hamlin, Austin Cindric, Brad Keselowski, William Byron, Ryan Preece. 11th through 15th is Corey LaJoie, Harrison Burton, Michael McDowell, Justin Haley, and Ty Gibbs. 16th through 20th is Daniel Suarez, Jimmy Johnson, Chase Briscoe, Joey Logano, and Noah Gragson. And right now they're showing Austin Dillon up to 20th. For lap 140 out of 200, stage 3 of 3. But appreciate each and every one of you guys. If you are brand new to the chat, to the stream, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Give me $1. Give me $1. I'll take $1 super chat. So the 48 car's got a little bit of damage up on his left front nose, right in front of the tire. Looks like they are going to be putting some high-speed duct tape on it to cover up that hole. It's a little bit of a hole right in front of the tire, so we're kind of worried about the aerodynamics on that one. I don't know if that was a previous wreck that he got into or what. Come on, Jimmy Johnson. I'm not a big Jimmy fan, but I would love to see him put that 84 car victory lane. No one has ever won in the number 84, so let's have Jimmy Johnson get that done today.
60 laps
next Sunday, Fontana.
Next Sunday, the NASCAR Cup Series roars into Southern California for the final race on the 2-mile oval in Fontana before that track gets reconfigured. Will Kyle Larson repeat? Will we have a new West Coast kid? You'll find out when the pre-race begins 2:30 Eastern, green flag at 3:30 here on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Tony Stewart will join us in Fontana and come back for Atlanta after Danica Patrick joins Clint and me in the booth for Las Vegas and Phoenix.
I'll take 2 weeks off and go do a little racing myself over in Gainesville.
59 laps to go.
and then come back for the national event, the Gator Nationals, that will also be on Fox.
You got more day jobs than anybody I know. And I know you love them all.
But none of them have a time card. None of them have a time card. That's what I love about Tony Stewart. He works his tail off. He's never really clocked into anything.
So we want to show you something here that Fox has been working on with the folks at Driver's Eye. And I don't even know how close I have to get before you can see it. But that is the entire camera and transmission system. The lens on that is less than 1/8 of an inch in diameter. That's our Driver's Eye. And it sits in the padding just to the side of the temple of the driver, between him and the shell, the outer part of the helmet. And that's it. That's all there is to it. There's a tiny cable to tether it and transmit the signal. That's it.
It actually sits on the padding. And that's the coolest thing about it is it doesn't, affect the helmet whatsoever. It's out on the outside of it, so all the safety features aren't compromised. Pretty cool feature for all of our guys out there and you guys at home.
It's awesome technology.
That could be the coolest thing ever since we've started broadcasting NASCAR. Sure. And high marks and thanks to Andy Jeffers of Fox Sports, who coordinates our in-cars, and Peter Larson, who brought tiltable, panable onboard cameras to NASCAR, and his group at BSI. They work closely with the teams to give you these wonderful views from the driver's eye. Let's go to pit road and Jamie.
Pretty incredible technology indeed there, Mike. Well, Alex Bowman in the 48, he had come in and topped off.
I do like the
stops,
rear view mirror being down on the left side where, a lot of them, they still look up at the rear view that's up top, but it's nice that when they're driving, they can just look kind of down at it.
You see the left front damage. Good news is it's just cosmetic. Everything underneath looks good for the 48.
Thanks, Jamie. 33 cars on the lead lap, including Riley Herbst, who got the free pass on this caution flag for debris in turn number 2. Cliff Daniels, Kyle Larson's crew chief, we listened in on them.
If we get yellows from here, it's possible we can try to stretch it all the way to the end. So just say the Herbst. Yeah, anyone who did not pit obviously would not be able to make it under any circumstance. Depending on how yellows go, there's a chance that us and the cars that just pitted with us could.
Hey.
Business is picking up, Larry.
How can you save that fuel for him? You got to stay in that pack, and we go back to that fuel savings mode. When you're back in the pack, the reason Cliff Daniels tells him that, puts that in the back of his mind. If you can save me any fuel, which you can back there, I'm telling you, you're down to half throttle at times to stay off the car in front of you, saving a lot of fuel.
The hard part is you almost are having to commit to that strategy. This is the point of the race where you either got to be making your plans to move your way forward, or if this is a scenario where Cliff and Kyle make that decision to go for fuel mileage, then you have to be committed to staying in the back of the pack where you can run that part throttle and not keep pumping the gas.
And this is something where our sport is evolved.
So we got 6 people in the chat. What's up? What's up? Right now, Denny Hamlin is up to 5th. Austin Cedric up to 6th. But man, let me know in the chat who you guys are pulling for. Who you guys want to take this checker flag today? Who you guys don't want to win? We can complain about drivers as much as cheer about drivers because we all know there's some boneheaded drivers in this field that you just can't stand. And man, we can vent away. Pace car is out on pit road. So here we go again. Green flag racing. Bubba Wallace up on the high line.
And moved up a couple of rows in the process, so he's alongside Almirola now for this restart.
Right now, that low line is a place to be as of right now. Almirola took the lead down the back stretch, followed by Buscher and Harvick right behind him with Hamlin, Keselowski, your first 5 cars in the low lane, and up top is 23, 2, 41, 21, and 34.
I don't think they're going to take long. He's got a lot of Fords behind him. I'm talking about Austin Cindric. Whoa! Hold on.
Oh, man, who's that 41 car? Kind of got a little squirrely a little bit. 191 miles an hour.
There it is. There it is.
Looks like, is that Bubba that's going towards the back? Yeah, Bubba's caught up in the middle. He's dropping like a rock.
I didn't think it was going to take long. And it did.
But he ain't
Man.
got any good tires
What
yet,
a
I don't
half a lap
believe.
there by Austin Cindric. He was completely
Almirola,
sideways.
Busher, Harvick, Hamlin, Keselowski, LaJoy, Cindric, Haley, Priest, and Burton is your top 10, with Johnson up to 11. Ooh, man, that
Yeah, Priest is just stacked up behind the 2 car there, and then as soon as we get to that
56
spot we were
laps to
talking about,
go,
the entry exit,
55 laps
got
to go
tight,
now.
and then grabbed the right front, sheared him loose.
Keselowski is up to 4th. Almirola, Busher, and Harvick. Keselowski, Cindric, Hamlin, Priest, LaJoy, Burton, and Haley. Jimmy Johnson staying steady right there in 11th place, right there with McDowell, Suarez, Ty Gibbs, and Chastain.
We're going to have commercial free racing from Daytona as we go Toyota all out.
Busher is stuck on that low lane. I can tell his car, he just feels like it's a lot better staying low. He's got better help down at the bottom. Busher is up top. That just took the lead. Keselowski, Almirola, Harvick, Cindric, Hamlin, Priest, LaJoy, Burton, Haley. With them being in these packs, the top 10 just kind of shuffles around a little bit easier. We got 6 people in the chat. Don't forget to hit that like button. Hit that share button. Let us all come in and hang out together. Hit that subscribe button. We do a little bit of everything on this channel. Do some video gameplay with my kiddo. This is probably the first live stream I've done this weekend of racing in probably the last 3 years. We got Almirola and Busher battling out for your top spot. It's Keselowski, Harvick, Cindric, Hamlin, Priest, LaJoy, Burton, and Haley, your top 10, followed by McDowell, Suarez, Johnson, Chastain, Gibbs, Lawson, Wallace, Byron, Bell, and Gregson is your top 20. Busher and Keselowski is hooked up top, while Almirola and Harvick and Hamlin on the bottom.
For 20 years in NASCAR competition, the Toyota Racing family continues
52 laps to go.
Here's a closer look.
Celebrating their 20th season in NASCAR competition, Toyota has earned 585 wins across NASCAR's top 3 series. From the introduction of the Tundra to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series in 2004 to 3 championships in the Cup Series, Toyota looks to add to their growing racing pedigree in 2023. Let's go places.
Let's go places.
"51 laps to go. Chris Busher, Brad Keselowski, RFK Racing on point in the low groove.
And right behind him is Almirola in the, let's say, their first 6 cars is all Ford. So Ford is dominating today, while Chevy was dominating last night. Shoot, your top 10 is Ford, 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 Ford. Man, your top 7 is Ford, followed by 1 Toyota. Man, it's 8 Fords up top with 1 Toyota and 1 Chevy. 8 out of 10 is Fords in this race.
That car is very, very light on its feet.
Ooh, Harvick pushes up right in front of Cindric. Hamlin making a move on the bottom line. Hamlin moves up to first place. Got LaJoy pushed him down the backstretch into turn 3, coming out turn 4. So Hamlin is in the lead with LaJoy right behind him. And Haley, Harvick's off the pace. He's up on the high line.
I didn't see that happen. I don't think
Harvick's dropping to the back.
thought Cedric was going to go with him. Did not.
Well, Tony, what have you long said? If you can move the guys you think will be hardest to beat, that's who you're going after.
Yeah, and it's, I know the manufacturers work really hard in pre-race meetings talking about taking care of each other, racing at the end, but you've got to do what you have to do. I mean, you have to put yourself in scenarios that you think are ultimately, at the end of the day, going to benefit you, your race team, and your organization.
All right, since we had a caution bust out when we were riding along with Noah Gragson, we're going to take another ride with him and his number 42 Wendy's Chevrolet.
And LaJoy shoving Hamlin up to the front. The bottom line kind of moved back a little bit. And high line took precedent with Busher and Keselowski up high. With Hamlin, LaJoy is hooked up at the bottom with Almirola. 49 laps to go. About to be 48 laps left. Gragson right now is 17th place, but man, it's no piece to first place. You may be 20th place, but man, you can see that first place car easily. Suarez is still up there.
Gragson was fifth here last summer. That voice was Earl Garvin, longtime spotter for Jimmy Johnson, as Jimmy was at Team Hendrick, winning championships here in NASCAR. Well, that outside lane, they have fought their way up almost right to the front of the pack.
A little bit of a gap you can see there between Denny Hamlin and Corey LaJoy, and that gives that outside line a little bit of time to get some energy and just blow them by on the outside.
That RFK duo, Busher and Keselowski working together. You're not going to see that 6-car get off his bumper until it's time. It's going to be hard to handle, but they're going to have to try to do these blocks together.
Busher, Keselowski, Almirola, Hamlin, Cindric, LaJoy, Priest, Haley, Burton, and Johnson is your top 10.
Just did it right there in front of the 11, stuck them up. Then he about got turned by LaJoy. It's like I said, that's hard to do. When you got 2 cars working.
Remember Kevin Harvick? They're on the outside, 3 wide. He was right up there with that front pack. Now he is back at 19th. And it's his final season, so Busch Light's giving away $50,000 to a lucky fan's retirement.
Right now, Harvick's back to 25th place. He got shuffled back.
On Twitter, tweet hashtag Busch401k and hashtag sweepstakes during every lap like this one, every lap that ends in a 4 for your chance to win.
These guys are getting impatient, especially a guy like Stenhouse you see right there in front of Kevin.
Busher, Keselowski, and Almirola hooked up top.
There's still things here that shake this race up. Don't get greedy here. Be patient.
Larson right now sitting back there in 16th place, 15th place, but he's right there up there, towards the front too. Kyle Busch is back up there. Right now, Kyle Busch is sitting at 18th when he was at one time 2 laps down. Bubba Wallace currently 16th place, started 15th, finished 34th in stage 1, 29th in stage 2. He led some laps because he stayed out.
Dare we try going back side by side one more time? We dare. With 45 to go.
All right, commercial break right now, but they're going to go side by side. So if anything happens, I'll let you guys know. But Busher, Keselowski, Almirola, Hamlin, Cindric, Priest, LaJoy, and Burton. Haley is your top 9. LaJoy and Burton is having really good runs with their 7th and 8th place. McDowell jumped up to 8th place, and Priest is doing really good with his 5th place running, and Cindric, awesome equipment that he's in, 4th place. Almirola, he's been doing great the last couple years in the number 10 car. But Busher and Keselowski is the ones that's really doing great. I don't know how Busher will kind of handle the pressure of coming down towards the end, but we'll see. Allmendinger back to 28th place. Bowman back to 27th. I hate it for Ryan Blaney back in 34th. And Jones and Elliott both are out after their wrecks. And I hate it for Chase. "43 laps to go." Got 4 people up in the room watching. Appreciate you guys coming in. I would love it if you guys start commenting in the chat, talking a little bit. It's more fun. We get like good little discussions going on what we think of the race and who's your driver. Suarez diving down at the bottom. Looks like no one's going to go with them except the bottom line is coming up through there to catch them. So it's good to see a little bit of racing coming out there to try to bring up that low lane. Right now, Jimmy Johnson is in the low lane.
To go. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, powering every mile and every moment on NASCAR's road to victory. Goodyear, more driven. Chris Buescher out front with an assist from his teammate Brad Keselowski with 41 laps to go.
Still got Buescher up there on the Buescher, Keselowski, Almirola, Cedric, Priest, Burton, and McDowell top 7 with Suarez, Hamlin, Lawson, Austin Dillon, Corey LaJoie, and Justin Haley. I think it's Justin and Haley. Jimmy Johnson sitting back there at 13th place. I still wonder if he's holding back a little bit. But even though he's 13th, he's right there at the leaders. If that low line would come up, he'll be up there about 5th. Suarez got shuffled back in the middle. He's dive bombing. Looks like he's going to settle in on the high line, so he didn't lose much.
Yes, and the 22-year-old driver Harrison Burton, I talked to him about his first Daytona 500 last year, flipped over upside down. He said he's so much better prepared for today's race. He said it's all about situational awareness, knowing where to put my car at every given moment. Even when you're single file or under caution, you're thinking about those scenarios, and it's paying off right now. He's been running top 10, doing a nice job in 6th right now, baby.
Maybe Eric Almirola won his dual race the other night. You would think just keep the car exactly like that.
Eric Almirola started 4th, stage 1 8th, stage 2 13th, currently 3rd. Almirola sitting at 188 miles an hour. Austin Cedric's currently 4th place when he started 6th. But you still got Buescher, Keselowski, Almirola, Cedric, and Priest, your top 5. That's all hooked up. Single file with Burton. And after that, they are 2 by 2 by 2.
Daniel Suarez in purple on the left. Maybe in purple in the seat after this.
Well, he just doesn't have
Hamlin got Suarez loose a little bit.
Denny knows he has got to get around. They can't just keep letting that inside line fall further back.
Yeah, you heard me talk about that chain as I described it, but Suarez is a big part of that problem too. It just didn't seem like that car has the speed that they needed. I think Denny thought they were holding them up, and he took care of that.
Denny Hamlin always has a fast Toyota here. Only 4 drivers have led more laps.
Where's Johnson? Johnson's back to 12th. I like keeping an eye on him with his new team back in NASCAR for a limited run. 38 laps to go with Buescher, Keselowski, Almirola, and Cedric and Priest, your top 5. It ain't really moving much except back there between 7th and 10th.
Last time, Roush Racing or Roush Fenway, and now Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing led the Daytona 500. was 9 years ago. But if this pair stays together at the front, Buescher and Keselowski, they could be hard to handle.
They are, and like Clint was saying, look at the outside line and the length there. There's getting some gaps in there, and that's kind of
Larson back to 13th.
Maybe running that part throttle.
Suarez up to 10th.
Breaking that outside lineup. I don't think they're trying to do it intentionally, but
that low lane is just a little. It's lacking right now with LaJoy leading the low lane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About 6 cars that's up on the high line, single file.
Kyle Busch got a free pass to get back on the lead lap. Finds himself right now in 17th. What's going on with the 8?
Well, it's all about keeping an eye on the fuel for the 8 car.
I'm about to say, it's got to be some green flag pit stops at some point.
They can have a shorter one, go through 1 can of fuel. They get back out and get better track position for the final run, guys.
36 laps to go. And 1 pit stop between here and the checkered flag.
Tight, passing him lap.
Johnson is the third man in line on the bottom, but that's 8 cars back. 35 laps to go. More commercials, man. I'm sick and tired of commercials. At least they're doing side by side, but geez, man. Just so many. I mean, these cars, they're just a running commercial anyway. But I know it ain't really much action going on. Ooh, Buescher kind of kicked a little sideways, not too much from Keselowski in the back of him. Loosened him up just a tad, but right now Keselowski's kind of backing off a little bit. 35 laps to go. Buescher, Keselowski, Almirola, Cindric, and Priest is your top 5. Then Burton, McDowell, and Hamlin, Suarez, Larson, Austin Dillon, and Chastain, Busch, Stenhouse, Harvick, and LaJoy is your top 16 as of right now. 34 laps to go. Allmendinger, 26, Gilliland, Bowman, Herbst, Gregson, Pastrana, and Smith way on back in the back of the pack. Definitely not the runs that they're wanting. But that high line, man, they're moving. It's getting to that point where it's like last night where they're all single foul and just kind of biding their time, which I know they don't want to do anything stupid right now because they still get a pit stop to make. So they're going to have at least one more pit stop before the end of this. So if this thing keeps going green, it's going to be some strategies coming up pretty soon. They're on the back stretch on lap 33 to go. This time by big 32. Keselowski is pushing Buescher right nose to tail. Ain't staying off of him. Now Morello just kind of biding his time back there with Cindric in 3rd and 4th, and Priest, Burton, McDowell, Hamlin. So I'm kind of curious to like who's going to start making some moves pretty soon, even though we still got the pit stops. So they might just buy their time until they start doing this cycle of pit stops. 32 laps to go.
$32 laps to go in the Daytona 500. That Ford-led group out front, leading the field. And here are the winners of the Daytona Speed Weeks races last year and this. And all 3 of those champions.
Man, they didn't show that long.
This year.
First time ever, right? Pretty cool.
Then all 3 series champs are in the race. Ty Gibbs in Xfinity, Zane Smith in the trucks, and Joey Logano in the Cup Series. Chris Buescher is the leader. There are 3.5 times as many people here today
Since last pit, 36 laps. since this top 9 has been into the pits.
Brad Keselowski, who came to RFK Racing from Team Penske, trying to rebuild.
Brad Keselowski started 10th and is currently second.
The Smithfield Ford, Austin Cindric, both been up front all day. Eric's been extremely happy with his car. Let's see what happens here.
Ryan Freeze right behind them, holding a pretty wheel. He's had that track position, done a good job so far. Got to get to the end of this thing. We all know it. Harrison Burton behind him in tow. These guys are looking good right now.
Michael McDowell may be just where he wants to be, in 7th place. Nobody kind of noticing his front row motorsports Ford, kind of when he worked his way to the front in the closing laps of the Daytona 500 that he won 2 years ago.
And you got the 11 of Denny Hamlin and the 99 of Daniel Suarez. We saw Hamlin go by Suarez on the inside line, get shuffled out, and Denny was able to work his way back up and get back in front of Suarez to get back on that outside line.
Now Suarez pulls Kyle Larson along the bottom. And Austin Dillon, we haven't seen much of the 3 today. He is a past Daytona 500 champion.
Bubba Wallace had to take a pit. He had to pit or it's going to be out of gas. We knew that was going to be the start of it.
Here we go. Bubba's in the pits.
To his pit. Remember, he came in a little bit earlier before, and now he's going to top off and get tires on that right side.
Yeah, his last stop was 11 laps before anybody
So just right side tires for Bubba. Bubba.
It's going to get interesting, guys. This is going to split this field.
All right, so you get the high line that has moved down to the low line, so they've got to be getting ready to go in the pit.
That window's coming quick. Won't be
For them
long.
go from high line to low line. Maybe the next time by.
38 laps on this load of fuel. And that will leave about 7 drivers who can go another 6, 7, 8 laps further.
Yeah, it'll probably be, maybe tops another 10 after that. It'll depend on how they come out, what kind of lap times are running, and we'll bring those guys in. But nonetheless, all your front runners here, 17, 6, 4, 10, 11, all of them are the ones that pitted the last time on lap 133.
And this will be the money stop. Hit your marks. Make no mistakes. Watch your speed. Don't do anything fancy. Just do everything right.
I told Clint, I said, don't be surprised if this is where the last option of the race could happen. Guys, knowing that they have to hit their marks and knowing that they got to get everything they can.
Kyle Busch started 40th, currently 12th. Stage 1 was 15th. Stage 2 was 30th.
Kyle Busch fights his way back up into the top 10.
We see that line that was dominant on the outsides now moved to the bottom. Like you say, getting closer to the pit stops, you can't just stay on the outside. You're going to have to get yourself down to where you can be in position to get to pit road.
I definitely think that was the play. They, jockeyed for position, got down to the bottom, the inside, where they can come as a group. But, man, it takes me back to the start of this race, what we learned. When all those cars came together, they weren't very efficient. This might be an opportunity for some of these other cars.
Chris Buescher and Brad Keselowski, they need to pit together. They need to come off pit road together and just do it faster than anybody else. To maintain that
Bubba Wallace losing a lap.
Tough to deal with. That, however, is a tall order. That you have half a dozen to a dozen cars on pit road at once.
Spot on, Mike, but that all goes out the window when you pit. If you pit with too big a group or you don't come out with the right amount of help when the time's right, I don't care how
Trying to
fast
see
two
if they
cars
got
are, that
any.
won't be enough.
Oh, man.
What's the magic
Keselowski
number
all
of
over the
cars on
back
track
of
for maximum
Buescher.
speed?
I don't know. Clint and I were talking about it. I think Clint actually, I think you should explain it. I think you're spot on your side.
I think 5 to 8 cars is more efficient performance-wise, speed-wise, than 28 cars, believe it or not. When they try to move them around, especially coming on the pit road, we learned it. We saw it with the Toyotas. That's
25 laps to go.
Childress and a few others make those adjustments. When those guys come in with only 4 or 5 cars in front of them, they didn't have to move around and stall and everything else coming out of their pit wall. They did their pit stops a lot more efficiently.
It's just like a freight train. The longer the freight train,
Buescher, Keselowski, Almirola, Cindric, Suarez, Priest,
There's those
Burton,
hands.
Larson, McDowell, Hamlin, and Dillon.
175, taking 172. This is a little bit earlier than I expected them to come.
All right, let's see if the 17 and 16s are up on their game. Here they come.
See, here we go. Let's see how this pans out with this first group of cars coming in pits. 10 car with no. Yeah, 6 is away. No change in adjustments or anything like that. 17 car is away.
9 cars came to pit road. At least 5 of them will
Joy
lead in a draft together.
I don't know if
came
that
in
was
also.
by design or not, but the 22 and the 14, they were stuck on the outside. They couldn't come with their Fords.
So you still got Suarez, 21, 34. There's some, and here comes Hamlin and Truex. I can't tell who's that third car in there, number 15.
Basically, the directive has been to him to just keep the cars behind him attached a little bit better. His race car's
So
good,
Hamlin getting a tear off, fueling it up. No tires for Hamlin. Truex is only going to get gas. No tires for him, too.
Not much to do there. Fuel only for Martin Truex Jr.
The problem is, it's only a pair of cars coming off pit road, and they're going to have to work their way together.
Look at the separation in Truex and everybody that just came out.
23 laps to go. Suarez still staying out.
Come down into turn 1 now. They've got all the momentum, and the gap between those.
This one's going to be Harvick, Ty Gibbs, 2014 McDowell.
Briscoe and Bell.
No adjustments for Harvick, just gas.
A timed stop for fuel.
Ty Gibbs, gas only.
Jamie.
Michael McDowell in the Lutz car, the number 34, won this race in 2021. He told his team on the radio, guys, we've got to nail this. No mistakes. It's fuel only. Make sure this goes well, and it does.
So we got Suarez, Larson, and Truex right there with Burton up high. All right, Suarez, Larson.
This is a larger group.
And is that Austin Dillon that's coming in? Yes, Dillon.
Suarez in the 99 had been working his way back towards the front after an unscheduled stop earlier today.
All right, we got 5 people in the chat. What's up? What's up? If you ain't hit that like button, hit that like button. Gas only for Suarez, gas only for Larson.
Bill Grayson in the 42, the Las Vegas driver. Pretty happy with his car. Second Daytona 500 for him, both for Rookie of the Year.
Jimmy
He's got
Johnson.
to come around the next time, Mike.
Excuse me, Jimmy Johnson in that group overcoming a speeding penalty back in lap 119. That will leave only Harrison Burton out there among the cars that stopped at lap 133. Now, some of those that
Here comes Logano, Gregson.
coming to pit road along with Burton. Regan.
Logano with that first hit right there, right when you come in.
3.5 seconds of fuel is all.
Cal Busch, gas only. He's away. Burton getting gas. There's Gregson.
I'm not sure he was even in his box for 5 seconds.
He's away.
And there goes Noah Gragson, the 42. They got their fuel.
And 6 cars exit pit road together.
20 laps to go.
Coming back. 2 fast exiting for the 47. So now
Gregson in the 42 car is 5th. Larson 7th. It's going to take a little bit for this stuff to shuffle out.
They did not have to take as much fuel as the rest of them. Got out quicker. I think the advantage right here goes to the 5 card. That group right there. They're going to have to get up here and block. There's the original leaders, Keselowski, Buscher.
Right ahead of them. The 4 cars on the left stopped later so they could take less fuel, and they're out in front of the Fords that were leading before green flag pit stops.
Yes, sir. This 3-car duo in front of them. Fort Logano and Byron. See if they're able to make quick time of them when they catch them. Oh, they're wrecking. That's a product of catching those cars. Everybody's on a little bit different.
A pile up in turn one with 18 laps to go. Michael McDowell, Ryan Preece.
Oh, 34 wreck. Looked like Truex in it. Kevin Harvick.
With damage to the right front.
There's a 41 car, Priest. That's heavy damage.
And it's gone.
So this is changing up a lot, but this looks like it's falling right in Logano's hands, but heavy damage to Truex.
This will be the 5th caution flag of the day. 3 for cause plus the 2 stage breaks. And the second multi-car pileup of this Daytona 500. Martin Truex thought that 19 would be his lucky number. It's February 19th. It's his 19th Daytona 500. The crash happens with 19 laps to go.
See what happens here when they get to turn one.
Suarez is in the back. No, that's on
So you can
coming
see
back
the
there.
and the 2 car. He was
So Almirola,
him up behind them.
oh man, they just
McDowell gets
nowhere
in the
to
back
go
race,
for
turns him around,
Harvick
the
and
rest is history. But I take it back to
Suarez
Grayson. You
and
see
stuff
that
like
car
that.
They were going around.
Ty
Always
Gibbs
moving
gets
like
into
that,
it also.
stacking up.
And Ryan Preece is driven to the garage. The Berlin, Connecticut driver had a great 500 going.
So I'm going to predict right now that Logano takes this
And you'll
victory
see the
with
accordion
18 laps to go.
here in that upper lane. Just all piles.
Almirola didn't have nowhere to go. It's just accordion up, and he went up, and that got everybody else locked up.
All the way out of the gas, and it just so on and so forth, stacked them all the way up through the field. Finally, one of them got spit out.
We're going to ride with the Bass Pro Shops cam on board Martin Truex.
Johnson got into it. 41 car did clip the right rear of Jimmy's car.
There was no way he could react to that.
Well, Johnny, one of them's out. Still got one left. Austin Dillon's still in this thing.
Denny Hamlin's view.
Look how fast that happens.
Denny Hamlin barely missed it.
They all tried. No way you're going to avoid that.
And Kevin Harvick in his final Daytona 500. Chase Briscoe. Let's check out the Mahindra cam. Driver's eye for Chase Briscoe. Tony, he hit everything but the lottery.
Unfortunately.
Yes. Yep. Well, those last 4 replays, 3 of those were your cars, all coming to grief.
Yeah, thanks for
One
pointing that
pile
out.
up here. I'm sorry. I'm not running the calculator, but
We try not to
golly.
point those things out. Had a bad day there, buddy. You're not out of it.
No, and that's unfortunately we knew that this green flag sequence of pit stops could do this. I mean, everybody that's come out ahead of these packs that are coming, they have to do what they have to do to protect. Unfortunately, it just gets that jam up like that, and it's beyond an accordion. It's a slam fest at that point.
So end of the day for these guys, beyond devastation. This is the biggest one, the biggest race of the year. But who's the advantage go to? Harrison Burton, Logano, Byron, Busch, Kyle Larson up front. Who hurt him? Keselowski, Buescher, Cindric, Almirola, those guys in the back, they were trying to catch those guys. One more lap, I think roles would have been reversed. Unfortunately, caution came out.
And Harrison Burton is the race leader, Jamie.
And it's interesting, Mike, because he wanted to pit with the 4s, but he was up on top of the track. He couldn't get down, so they came in and pitted, just took fuel. But Brian Wilson, his crew chief, just told him on the radio, at this point, we are 1 to 2 laps short. I need you to save everything you got.
The Wood brothers. Last went to victory lane in the Daytona 500 with Trevor Bayne in 2011. Only Bayne's second Cup race. But Leonard Wood the master at minimizing mechanical drag and massage that car.
All right, we got 5 people in the chat. We got 16 laps to go. Burton is in the lead right now after that big wreck that took out some really good cars yet again.
In their NASCAR history, which dates to 1949. 16 laps to go in Daytona.
All right, I'll go through the rundown for you guys real quick. Harrison Burton leading the field with Joey Logano. Joey Logano is going to be hard to beat. He's had a fast car all day long. And with all these other good cars getting knocked out, I think it's falling into Logano's lap. William Byron is third. Kyle Busch is a sneaky one up there in fourth. Kyle Larson in fifth. Austin Dillon sixth. Daniel Suarez in seventh. AJ Allmendinger in eighth. Brad Keselowski ninth. Noah Gragson is a 10th place right now. Chris Buescher in 11th. Austin Cindric. Eric Almirola 13th. Jimmy Johnson in 14th. Alex Bowman in 15th. Denny Hamlin, Ty Gibbs, Christopher Bell, and Ross Chastain with Cody Ware in 20th. Right now, Travis Pastrana in 23rd. Ricky Stenhouse 24th. Bubba Wallace in 26th. Mark Truex, that was involved in that wreck, is at 28th. Harvick, that was in the wreck, 29th. Corey LaJoy in 30th. Kevin Hart, 29th. Yeah. All right. So there you go. But your top 3 is Burton, Logano, Byron. Who do you guys get? Who you guys think is going to take this victory? I believe it's going to be Logano, as bad as I hate to say it. All these other really good cars has been taken out. It's fallen into his lap, I believe. I think it's his to lose. I hope I'm wrong. I wouldn't mind seeing Byron in there. Burton, I'd love to see Burton win this race. Right now we are sitting at 193 views. We got 6 people in the chat. What's up? What's up? Hope everybody's having a great day. Happy Sunday. NASCAR is back. Cup Series racing is in back full swing. Got 5 people up in here, so when this race comes back, I will be going back to the audio.
Here are the drivers. Great ones. Hall of Fame.
No 500 wins. Ned Jarrett, Rusty Wallace, Mark Martin, 25 tries. Tony Stewart, 17 tries. Martin Truex Jr., 19 starts. Kyle Busch, 18 starts.
Kyle Busch is currently in 4th place.
Those are without a win.
Longtime General Motors chief stylist. That's the Firebird one atop the trophy that Bill Francis promoted to presented to every Daytona 500 winner. Let's get out of the desk and Chris Myers and Jamie McMurray.
Thank you, Mike. It's the race the driver's got to have on his resume, and you do have that. Right now, Jamie McMurray, who's in the best position to win?
Well, we talked about Kyle Busch earlier in the race, had the pit road speeding penalty, got a lap down, he got the lap back. He is in 4th place right now. The second Chevy in line, I think he's in a really good position.
And Fords have been difficult, and they've worked well together.
Well, they have. We've seen Brad and his teammate Chris Buescher be able to work together. But Chris, the what's coming up right now, we're going to have this restart.
The importance of the restart.
Yeah, the restart's going to be more important than ever. And last year, we did not have the choose rule at this type track in Daytona and Talladega. We have that this year. We have 2 Fords in the first 2 positions, 7 Chevys lined up behind that, and then you have to go all the way back to Brad Keselowski in 10th. This is going to be the most important restart if it's the last one of the entire race.
And what do you base the decision on?
Well, it's going to be about being with a teammate or being with your
Oh, man, 14 laps to go.
That's going to come into play until the very end, and it's the Daytona 500. I don't care if it's my teammate the last couple laps. I'm going for the win.
Denny Hamlin said, who can you trust at this point? Whatever driver is in that spot, he hopes he can trust them to get the help. 13 last lap passes. Mike have decided the Daytona
lights are off on the pace car. He's about to speed down pit road to get this back to green flag racing.
Chris Buescher in the 17 and Brad Keselowski, after spending all that long run drafting together as teammates at the front of the field, chose different lanes for this restart. They'll have to find each other. Regan.
Mike, you see the 22 of Joey Logano selected the bottom there to go alongside of his somewhat teammate in the 21 car, Harrison Burton. The discussion was pretty short and simple. Our best chance to win is to go to the bottom. Now that we're getting to the end, the pay window is up.
Cal Busch is going to be in that second line up on the top, right behind Burton.
Thanks, Regan. By the way,
So Cal Busch, could he slip up in here and win this thing in his 18th try?
This is Kim Burton, and she's a nervous wreck. If you're a longtime fan, when her husband Jeff was racing, and now her son Harrison leads the Daytona 500.
It's where she is in the passenger seat of that car every single lap with him.
Reminds me of 1996 when Dale Jarrett won the Daytona 500, and his mom Martha sat in a van in the infield. She wanted to see that her son's car go by, but just once a lap, she didn't want to watch the whole race. And we lost Martha a couple of weeks ago, and we miss her. Our condolences to Ned and the Jarrett family. There are the Thunderbirds, the pilots watching after putting on a great air show here.
An awesome show, the best one I've ever seen here.
Also, condolences to the family of Canadian racer Trevor Boyes, who recently passed. He competed in a number of 500s. To settle it.
All right, here we go. Green flag, green flag, green flag.
6 Toyotas. Here we go.
No, Harrison was going to try to get down.
13 laps to go.
Got a pretty good start with him. They were door to door. He does not get down in front of his Ford teammate.
They're stacking up right there. So Suarez in the number 2, Cedric had to back off a little bit, or that could have been trouble.
I think he was trying to get a jump on Logano and get down in front of him. Did not accomplish that.
In a Wood Brothers owned car prepared at the Team Penske shops.
Cal Busch shoving Burton down the front backstretch. We got Logano speeding away, coming out of turn 4. Does he stay in the bottom and goes up top? Got Byron right behind Logano. The low line is strong right now. Logano goes down below the yellow. And there's 16 car making a move on Byron, goes into second place. Here comes Larson. 24 of Byron is going to go straight through the back. Burton's still up high.
Sure is.
So Allmendinger makes a move on Logano to take the lead, and Larson and Suarez takes it. Oh, you got Larson is all over the back end of Allmendinger. Logano is being shifted all the way to the back, but he finds his teammate. But Allmendinger, Larson, there's Burton, smoke. Kyle Busch lucky that he didn't get wrecked. And here comes Jimmy Johnson up to 6th place. You got Allmendinger, Larson, Suarez, Keselowski, Buescher, Johnson, Bell, Gillen, Busch, Stenhouse. 11 laps to go. It's starting to.
That's exactly what Keselowski wanted. His teammate Buescher on his bumper rolls reversed.
Allmendinger, but Keselowski on the outside with his teammate Buescher. But Larson is behind Allmendinger, with Suarez behind him and Johnson. To this line be 10 laps to go. 8th place goes to Jimmy Johnson so far. They're 2 by 2.
Somebody's going to have to go through those RFK cars and win this race. Very, very strong.
Kyle Busch sits 3rd place.
You see Allmendinger, you can
But Keselowski and Buescher 1-2. You got Austin Dillon right behind Busch.
Hey, all race long we've been
Kyle Busch is trying to make a move through the middle.
Now they're the odd man out. Only 2 of them up front. Chevy stacked up behind them.
Allmendinger goes to the back right now, but we got Keselowski, Buescher, Kyle Busch, Dillon, Byron, and Stenhouse, your top 6 cars, with Logano trying to come back in. Logano's back up in 7th. He's making his way back up there. 9 laps to go. Busher kind of looking on the inside of Keselowski. So we got teammates of Kyle Busch and Austin Dillon running third and fourth right behind Keselowski and Busher. So do they sit and wait? And you got Byron. I believe Byron would go with Busch and Dillon, then Chevys. When you get your first two cars, it's Keselowski and Busher and Fords.
You never know how this thing's going to shake out. I think this race could be in the hands
8 laps to go.
He has a Daytona 500 win. He recruited Kyle Busch to Richard Childress Racing. I think he's Busch's wingman to try to get these two Chevys past the two Fords for Busch to win the 500.
I don't disagree at all. That I mean, you ultimately, at the end of the day, in a perfect scenario.
Now, right now, it's all up to Kyle Busch. When is he going to go out and make a move? So right now, Kyle Busch is in the driver's seat at third place.
Pop is Richard Childress, Austin Dillon's granddad, who started this team back in 1969.
And besides that, you know, who else is going to try to make a move on back to try to jump up? Because you don't really want to be leading the race when this thing is last lap. You'd be a sitting duck. But we got Keselowski, Busher, Busch, Dillon, Byron, Stenhouse, Logano, Cindric, Bell, Larson, your top 10.
It's stable to have the likes of Dale Earnhardt. He's found
I don't see Busher making a move on his teammate Keselowski, but you never know, especially what happened last night. But Kyle Busch and Austin Dillon sitting third and fourth.
And the Chevys close it right up. They're coming to 6 laps to go.
And you better be careful how he does that. You get that gap open, you leave those 3 Chevys behind there. They will
6 laps to go. Keselowski, 198 miles an hour right now. Keselowski right now is a sitting duck.
You have to wait. You have to be patient, Tony. You go too soon.
But they're getting a little dicey right now. They're nose to tail. And Cal is just shoving the crap out of Busher. It's shoving the crap out of Keselowski. I believe we're going to – I can see them wrecking the whole front half of the field.
I think you have to. I think you have to get separated from those first 2 cars. It's going to take a lap to rebuild and regenerate that power and that momentum, but I think that's where your biggest shot is.
Keselowski is pulling back a little bit.
Great speed.
I mean, Kyle Busch.
TJ Majors is a veteran on super speedway racing on the spotter stand and calling the news and where the energy is coming from.
This is that moment Brad Keselowski made this move, joining RFK and his name as an ownership, driver owner in this thing. If he could pull this off, this is what this vision and dream's all about.
Who's at 47 is trying to make a move on Byron. And if he makes a move, I know Logano would probably go with him just to try to take a chance. We got 4 laps to go with Keselowski, Busher, Busch, Dillon, Byron, Stenhouse, Logano, Cindric, Bell, and Larson.
When do you make your move, Tony?
I've been trying to figure that out for 3 laps now, buddy.
Johnson back to 12th. He's a no factor right now.
I wasn't talking about him.
No. We're talking about
Kyle Busch is looking on the outside right now. He does have the outside with Austin Dillon and Byron going with them. So they hang out. Keselowski and Busch are on the inside. Kyle Busch does take the lead with Austin Dillon second. But is that too early? They just went too early. Logano is 5th, but you got Kyle Busch, Austin Dillon, William Byron, Stenhouse, and Keselowski. So what's going to happen here with 3 laps to go?
But we saw how easy that was to do. There is still time for that same maneuver to happen again.
So Logano, if Byron jumps out, I know Logano would go with him just to try to get on up into the field.
This is a question, Tony. You said 3 of the last 6
But you got
only led the last lap.
Kyle Busch best finishing second in the Daytona 500.
When do you make that move? I've always said this. I think
So
you
does
have to lead in the
Austin
white flag.
Dillon
That
stay
caution
with
comes
his
out,
teammate to
you're
push
done.
him to a
Race
win?
off,
Oh,
and
Suarez
around.
spins it.
Turn 4, caution waves.
Caution is out, so that changes a lot of stuff. 2 laps to go, so this is going to bunch them up.
And that is not what Pop wanted to see right there.
Okay, this is where the new rule, moving the choose cone, is really going to get interesting. You're
Looks
gonna
like
stack up
Suarez
two
is stuck in the
teammates. You know where
grass.
they're going to go, right on each other's tail, bumper to bumper. What is William Byron in a Chevy, Logano in a Ford, Keselowski in a Ford, Stenhouse in a Chevy? It's a mixed bag behind them.
Randall Burnett, crew chief, and Richard Childress, team owner, had hoped to see their 2 cars come to the flag for a 1-2 finish, but now Daniel Suarez, there's the AMR safety team on the scene, and quickly they'll get that car removed. He wants to get going.
We're heaving that thing out right now.
Well, good call. If that car's still running, he can still finish this race, so the steps record gets up there, gives him a boot,
That's right.
and maybe he can get back in this race. All right, Kyle Busch is leading at the
Going to be a
caution
green
flag.
white checkered coming down to the end of this Daytona.
1998, that would be the win, boys. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I admit, we're going to have a green light checkered here. We're plenty good on fuel, so.
Wow. Back in 1998, there was a crash off turn number 4. Dale Earnhardt came to the caution flag, not the checker flag, but the caution flag to win the Daytona 500 because back then we did not have overtime. "20 years it took Earnhardt, who won everything else there was to win at Daytona, to join this world's longest receiving line."
You don't remember that, do you, Larry?
Yes, I do. And I told him, hey, don't celebrate. We have to get back around the checkered flag. I think that lap 199 under caution with the track clear was about as fast as before the caution came out.
I want you to take a look at this car. You don't see any Goodyear letters on the left side. The right side's got concrete dust all over it. That boy wants to win this race. He told us he was going to win it. He just might.
Oh, and remember that.
I got 7 people. Greg or John, what's up, Greg? Thanks for jumping up in here. Appreciate you coming in, hanging out with me. Yeah, live streaming NASCAR Daytona 500. Could Kyle Busch finally win his Daytona 500 driving for RCR in that number 8 car? Could the 8 car be back in victory lane at Daytona?
Taking this opportunity. You hear people, did he take a step backwards?
But I tell you what, man, it's
racing. I've said from day one that Randall Burnett, that guy was poised and ready for this opportunity. This was exactly what RCR.
it's going to get really interesting because right now, with the top 10, we got Busch, Dillon, Byron, Logano, Larson, Keselowski, Stenhouse, Buescher, Cindric, Bell, Johnson. Your top 10.
May not be the best of all time, but I've said it before and again, he's the best of his time.
Yeah, and like we talked about, a lot of people would say this was a step back, going back to Richard Childress Racing, and that it would take time to build back up to where they ultimately want to be. I don't see it either. I think we saw it when we were at LA at the Coliseum. We're seeing it today. This is a guy that.
Greg or John, who you got, man? Who you got? Who's going to win?
A move like this, he's not going to go backwards to go forward. He's just going to pick up and go forward.
All right, let's hear from the runner-up, his teammate, Austin Dillon.
I'm going to be screwed if the Ford are behind me as well. That's the 24 average. Doesn't make them push you. Doesn't make them push you. It's not easy. Whoever's getting pushed is going to get correct. Or, yeah, that's about it, actually.
Oh, gee.
That's not a good feeling, Mike. I'm just telling you, it's not. But that's exactly what you have to do. You have to try to do everything you can do to make that block. It's when we talk about that rear view mirror and everything in the back glass. It's just so important when it comes down to crunch time.
So we now have NASCAR overtime, which is a 2-lap shootout. If the leader takes the white flag under green, the next flag will end the race. We saw it happen last night when caution came out on the back straightaway. And if that happens, NASCAR will use all available video evidence to determine positions at the moment the button is pushed that activates the caution lights. So they will come to the choose, and I'll bet there's some chatter right now.
See what's going to happen.
Who do you want to be behind?
Does
who do you want to be beside?
Bush and Dillon go to the low line, or do they pick the high line? Because it's been different throughout the whole race. What has the best line?
29 lead lap cars. And
Caution lap lights is out.
Split up.
Oh, man.
3 and 24 down bottom. You're going to have the 22, the 47.
So the Childress cars is going to be lined up side by side.
Yeah. Why wouldn't those teammates go nose to tail?
Because Austin Dillon's going to let him in. That's the plan right along. You're going to see Kyle Busch move up, but we've seen this before. That William Byron in the 24 car, if he pushes that 3 too hard, doesn't let that 8 in, that's a problem. How about 22? We saw this with Brad Keselowski. If that 22 pushes him out too far, they get too far, and now everybody goes by him. This is a tricky restart.
So instead of actually thinking that he's going to let his teammate in, is this an opportunity where they just keep
Logano's going to be second row
and settle it between themselves on the last lap?
I like what you're trying to sell. No chance. That ain't going. The only chance of winning this race is to get in front of those 2 Chevrolets. He's got 2 Fords behind him. No way they're going to let him win this thing.
All right, guys, they are halfway down the back stretch right now. It's going to get pretty dicey.
But hey, that's a race car driver.
Everybody is on their feet in the stands. Everybody's ready to see what happens.
Why'd you buy a seat? Nobody's sitting in them. They're all on their feet.
That's all right. They rested the majority of the day. But this is what I'm ultimately worried about. If they try to hold that inside lineup to let him get around on the outside, do they slow the inside lanes down so much that they can't build that momentum?
All right, they're coming out of turn 4.
Just goes right on by.
You see what's going on. Pace car will drop off onto pit road. We get RCR teammates side by side in the front row. Kyle Busch chose to be outside, and Dillon chose to be on the inside, and behind them is Byron and Logano. Kyle Busch takes off. 3 car kind of holds it back. So does Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch does go down to the middle, but Logano is up high. So they're going in turn 1. You get the 8 and 3 hooked up with Byron in behind him with Keselowski. Here comes Logano up on high lane getting pushed by Stenhouse. All right, Stenhouse makes a move on Logano, brings Kyle Busch. Oh, Dillon is turning around. It's going to be a caution. Big one, man. All of them. It's like 7 cars right now. You got the 1 car, 21, 84, 42 car, 36 car, all just crumbled up right now.
That is not at all what you wanted to see, RC. Not sure.
So Austin Dillon got caught up in that wreck.
He got into the back of Kyle Busch, had him sideways, jacked up. They had to lift.
So Kyle Busch right now does not have a teammate. William Byron, the 24 car, he's in on it. Jimmy Johnson's tore up.
Doing everything he needed to do to be a part of this finish. But it all starts on the crossover. We've seen this before. When he makes that move and crosses over, it takes time to build that energy back up and it stacks them up. That all carried back around to the back straightaway to what you see right here.
Let's see what happened. So 3 car, Byron got in the back of 3 that shot him off the track. So that hit from Byron in the 24 car to Dillon.
And had to check up. When he did, it stacked William and everybody up behind him. They turned him.
We've been live streaming now for 2 hours and 9 minutes. I appreciate everybody hanging in with me.
Green, white, checkered. You knew that was about to happen.
But aside from that, great move by Ricky Stenhouse.
Harrison Burton.
Burton gets turned. Yeah, he gets a little damage on his right rear. As you can hear the contact, his rear again getting hit.
And we're right along with Noah Gregson. There's Gregson off to the left.
So let's see
Next.
standings right now. We got Stenhouse, Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, AJ Allmendinger, Denny Hamlin, Alex Bowman, Bubba Wallace up at 9th, and Eric Almirola, your top 10. We're lap 208 in the overtime. We're lap 204 or 208.
Austin Cindric. Well, that's what 190 miles an hour looks like when it goes all the wrong way.
6 people in the chat. Don't forget to hit that big old thumbs up button down there right below. It's free, and it helps me out. It makes me feel good, too. That's the big thing. Makes me feel good. Makes me feel good. Hit that like button.
Stenhouse was down and out. Those two cars got stacked up on that ball.
We're at 11 thumbs up right now.
He was in a situation where he got to spit Logano out. That lonely Ford had to help him, the Chevy and Larson behind him. I'll be darned, we're leading this thing.
Let's set the field for you. Among the cars that got through there unscathed, JTG Doherty's driver.
11th year in Cup Series, Ricky Stenhouse.
And, NBA legend Brad Doherty.
He's 35, hometown of Olive Branch. 2 career wins.
Kyle Larson, who started this race outside pole for Team Hendrick, is second in a Chevrolet. Christopher Bell, who's had quite an up-and-down day for Joe Gibbs, in his Toyota is third. Joey Logano for Team Penske is fourth. There's Jimmy Johnson climbed out of his car. He's okay. Car is done for the day. Logano is fourth. He's the first Ford in the race. And there, Kyle Busch. You saw get shuffled back a little by some of the moves in traffic. But he's in it to win it, and so is A.J. Allmendinger for Team Calling. Hamlin, Bowman, Wallace, Almirola, rest of the top 10.
This is setting up. As soon as he clears that A to Kyle Busch, he's going to make a move. There he goes. He knows the help's coming. Look at that inside line stack up. It just was perfect case scenario for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And he was there for the taking.
If you're Ricky, you absolutely take that shot and take that chance. The thing that he doesn't know is that the 5 is right to him at the back. If he's pushing him when he makes that move, he's gone.
And then you take a chance of turning Logano in front of you because he was on the bumper of him. That was dicey, very close.
Multiple hits there for Harrison Burton. Don't tell me this is not a violent sport.
Yeah.
Took his hands off the wheel in case one of those front tires snapped against the wall and just jerked that wheel and caused a wrist injury.
Yeah, the biggest thing you want to get, most of all, you want to get your thumbs out of those spokes so that the spoke doesn't catch your thumb on the way back. Austin says, I'm not letting go anything. No. I'm driving mine.
He's still driving it. You're right. Now, just outside the top 10, Keselowski and Buescher, that drafting pair of RFK Fords, they still have a shot at this.
Let's see what happens on this little green white checker now.
We
still got the jet dryers and stuff still out there on the back stretch.
Shelly and I were up in the Sunoco suite. I said, watch these two guys. I said, watch Connor Daly in the 50 and Travis Pastrana in the 67. Do they have a chance to win the Daytona 500? Probably not. But a chance at a top 10 finish if their day goes well and they stay out of trouble? Absolutely.
We got 8 people in the chat. What's going on, buddies? What's up? What's up? Thanks for jumping up in here. Appreciate everybody. So everyone that's involved in the wreck was Chastain, Cindric, Dillon, Keselowski, Hamlin, Herbst, Burton, Byron, Haley, Smith, Gilliland, Gregson, and Jimmy Johnson.
He is 12th right now. Ricky Stenhouse from Olive Branch, Mississippi.
13 cars was involved in that big one with 1 lap to go.
I've got 3 Daytona 500s, including the 2 closest finishes in history. Stay with us on Fox.
Player of the Year candidates Zach Edey and third-ranked Purdue. Wow! Take on Trace Jackson Davis in Indiana. Fox Prime
No, we got 9 people in the chat. What's going on, everybody? Thanks for jumping in right at the end of the race. We're going to hang out together, see what unfolds in these last couple of laps. We got 7 people in here. Hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody has a great weekend and just being safe. And just, man, let me tell you, we got 6 people in the chat. Man, I really hope everybody cherishes every moment in life with your family, because while we're on a commercial break right now, I will say, lost my mom in December of 2021, a week before Christmas. We actually buried her on Christmas Eve. But yeah, the biggest thing I learned in life on that is stop taking family for granted, stop taking things for granted, and hang out with your family. Love on them, tell each other you love them as much as you can every single day, till they're sick of hearing it, and tell them again. And my kid's in the other room right now playing video games. And after this race is over, I'm going to go in there and spend some time with him. I took a little bit of time out of our life to come in here and give you guys a live stream and hang out together and watch this race, live chat with each other, and see what happens and see who wins the Daytona 500. But my biggest thing for you guys, man, just love on your family as much as you can.
Peter, how far back can you be right now, Jamie,
all right,
and still have
so
a chance to win this?
Yeah, well, I mean, Ricky was able to go from third.
we got Ricky Stenhouse up front.
All the way to the lead before they got to the backstretch, Chris. I think if you're in those first 4 rows, listen, the level of aggression we talked about was going to get higher and higher. Right now, when you get connected to somebody, you're not letting off. You're going to, it doesn't matter, teammate, no teammate. I think all those rules are out the window. I think you can go from 4 rows back.
What matters, where does experience figure in at this moment?
Well, and listen, at this point, it's all about a little bit of circumstantial. I mean, Kyle Busch has the experience. He had his teammate behind him.
So we got 3 people in the chat. I was telling people, love on your family, and they all left. We had like 9 people in here, and I was telling you, love on your family, and they just, but that's all right.
Going to need fuel if you're going to win the 500. Yeah, 7 drivers of those that stopped earlier and had just enough fuel to finish. They've come in to top off, which means they think we may have more than 1 overtime. We're going to keep going as long as this.
I'm going to tell you they were getting close on fuel.
All right, Regan.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s crew chief Mike Kelly. Mike, you guys have kept that car clean all day long. Your driver got it to the front. What do you tell him coming to this restart here?
Just tell him we got to do his job. Ricky's done a good job for us all day, and we'll see what happens here at the end.
Thanks, Mike. Josh?
Oh, Kyle Busch's crew chief Randall Burnett here. How do you guys handle this next restart?
But I couldn't quite hear you there, but Kyle's been doing a great job tonight. Just 3G Chevy. We just didn't have it go our way on that last restart, so we're going to have to make up for it on this time and just see what happens here. Thanks and good luck.
Thanks, Josh. There's Kyle, and the number of contenders gets smaller with every caution flag. Overtime, 2 laps, green, white checker, 52 lead changes so far in today's Daytona 500. Only twice in 64 years have there been more. We're not done yet.
Yeah, this has got potential to have another caution or so, but this is going to be an awesome restart. We've got guys that are all split up, guys that don't have teammates anymore, guys that are with different manufacturers. Who knows what is going to happen now?
So we got 3 people in chat. Hope everybody's having a great afternoon. We've been live streaming now for 2 hours and 19 minutes.
It's going to again on this restart. You're going to have to find somebody. You're going to have to give them behind you and not let them around. Blocks are going to come, and that's probably going to mean another caution.
All right, what's going to happen? Who do you like?
Well, I can tell you what's going to happen. Nobody is going to just ease into somebody's back bumper. Anything that's going to be a push is going to be wide open.
We're back to up to 4.
If the driver in front can hang on to it, then hopefully it produces. But I can't even predict who's going to finish.
Sit here waiting for them to get this thing back going, man. It's with how big of a wreck it was, a lot of debris that they had to make sure to get off the track.
That's something completely different. But when I hear that, I see Brad Keselowski.
I don't disagree. And Brad is historically the last couple of years been one of the hardest pushers in the field. Yeah. So he's definitely not gonna ease up on this.
I think they've had the fastest cars, so that you're not out around there. That car is.
All right, let's take a look back and review in this 65th Daytona 500.
Man, I gotta get this thing going.
Stage 1, not a single caution in stage 1, even with Bubba Wallace getting tipped up there into the outside wall with a little bit of damage. Kyle Busch getting a speeding penalty. The car did spin in stage 1, but it got to pit road without incident. There's the first multi-car pileup. Tyler Reddick at 45 getting turned around, knocked out of the race, and taking several others with him. Then this one, Ryan Preece getting turned by Michael McDowell in an accordion-like fashion. Neither one of them started the race. They were both in the midst of finishing it. And then Daniel Suarez spinning to the inside as we were coming to 2 laps to go.
All right, 3 people in the chat, man. I hope everybody's having a great day.
And finally this, Ricky Stenhouse drops to the inside, makes a great move there, but Austin Dillon gets turned into another car.
And they're waiting for them to go green again, man. It's just so many pace laps. And that's just even more gas keeps going out.
You know what the top team running order has all in common? They were all a part of every one of those highlight reels right there. The 5 car was around sideways. He spun out in one of them. The 20, Christopher Bell, he was in one of those wrecks. He's up there. That's what you got to do. You heard Denny. All of us talk about it. Surviving this race, getting to this opportunity. That's what it's all about.
5th and 6th, both a lap down at one point. I mean, we've had a little bit of everything, and it's a mixture of guys still up in the top 10.
All right, here's the choose.
Oh, boy.
Stenhouse the leader, Larson second. They're both in Chevys.
Where you going? How about that? Split them up again.
All right, lights are out in the pace car.
Logano in the Ford up.
Kyle barely made that. Kyle Busch, that is.
Allmendinger down, Busch up. Hamlin the inside, Bowman the outside.
A lot of energy taking that bottom, especially back in the pack. That's where that energy's built from.
Ready to decide it, Larry?
Yeah.
All right, so we're having Kyle Larson on the bottom line while Stenhouse is up high. Logano up high, followed by Bell down low. Kyle Busch goes up, elected to go on the high side up in the 3rd row.
This will be the longest Daytona 500 in history because of the extra caution laps and the overtime. I don't want to put an S on that just yet.
This is a mano, no holds barred right here. Every man for himself.
All right, so now they're going down the backstretch, seeing race still going. Yes, coach, still going, man. They had a 13-car pileup that took out a lot of really good cars, so they had to sit there and clean that up before they get it going.
Or, if you're Dana White, this is a slap fest on the way out. Man, I was hoping you'd get that in. Yeah.
So we got Stenhouse, Larson in row 1.
8 drivers that stopped 6 laps earlier on fuel.
Kyle Busch is back in the 3rd row. Allmendinger right beside him. Kyle Busch did elect to go on the high side. So
just to get them to the end of, say, 1 overtime.
I think they all were time stops. I mean, nobody wants to.
Kyle Larson, man, I'd love to see Larson win this thing, but man, sitting right there is pretty tough. I don't know, man. I don't know. so much can happen. Bubba Wallace back up there,
Stenhouse, Larson, the front row Chevrolet.
2, 4, 6, 8
Bell in
spot,
two. Logano
10
in
spot.
row 2. Chevy's in row 3.
Pace car goes down. Green flag's waving. Here they go. Stenhouse is being pushed by Logano on the outside.
I'm liking the bottom line already.
Man,
Far off. AJ Allmendinger is off the bell.
Larson being pushed hard by Bell. If Kyle Busch can come down and get in behind Bell, but Busch is completely satisfied with being up top, it looks like. Kyle Busch getting close to Logano. Logano's getting a good shove from Busch.
These guys are in trouble on the bottom.
Yeah.
Here comes a little bit of help, but they're going to need more than this.
There's Bowman that tucks down in the low. But Larson is coming flying back on the inside with Stenhouse still taking the lead.
Energy's all broke up now. Now we're going to see it coming.
Stenhouse is a sitting duck right now. Here comes Busch pushing Logano. Logano goes to outside. They're stacking up right now, 3 wide. Stenhouse is down low. There goes Larson in the middle. We are on the last lap. Oh, Larson's up in the wall. Big crash. There goes Keselowski. Right now, Logano will win the race. Logano is going to win. Stenhouse second. No, now they're showing Stenhouse. It looks like it's going to be Logano. Logano should win this race. They are just piled up.
Christopher Bell in the mix. Those 3 cars out in front of the
So we're going to wait and see. Is it going to be Stenhouse?
Will win the Daytona 500.
What is Bell doing here? Oh.
On the track, caution and checker.
Chevy, Ford, Stenhouse, Logano. Here is how this will be decided. It is not.
They're showing Stenhouse. They're celebrating.
It is NASCAR's decision.
So they're all jumping around on pit road.
When the button was pushed to activate the caution, and Ricky Stenhouse has won the Daytona 500.
There we go. Stenhouse has just won the Daytona 500. 8th caution of the day.
That boy has been aggressive. He's been close. He's been knocking on the door on a track like this, and it's finally his turn. Daytona 500. That does not surprise me, Tony.
No,
Not one bit.
I'm happy for him. A whole lot happier seeing him win that race than that damn Logano.
He's aggressive in a way that gets him to the front. It's not a reckless way. He just is going to do everything he can to get there.
Look above your head. Look on that roll bar. I see it, boys. I see it.
Spotter Tabloid, crew chief Mike Kelly, team owners, husband and wife team, Jody and Tad Geschechter, along with NBA legend Brad.
Right now, it's still showing Logano on the main thing.
Stenhouse's best
But
previous
Stenhouse has
season.
won this race.
He becomes the 42nd driver to win the Great American Race, and here it is.
I think the win comes from the 5. When the 5 moved up and tried to go around him and lost that momentum, that gets the 5 in trouble. Here comes the energy. Bell filled that void, gives him a big shot. 5 gets turned around. Look, right there. He's in front of
Bubba
him.
Wallace got into it.
Wins
Kyle
this
Busch
American
was
race.
got in on it.
At the 5
barely.
in front of him, at the 5
Allmendinger. It was only the front 3 cars that didn't get in it. The only front 3 cars was only one, so it's still going.
Stenhouse won here in July 2017.
Travis Pastrana got into it. Like I say, everybody got into that wreck.
And you got to do it. I mean, you know Travis doesn't have a lot of experience in these cars, but it's the last lap. You have to go for it.
I ain't gonna do the burnout. I ain't got no fuel.
Hey, bud, you don't need it.
Stenhouse has run out of gas.
How about that? That's how close it was. You saw Busher, you saw a lot of other guys come in and top off. Amazing. Change his life right there.
Wins in his 12th try for the Daytona 500. On the short tracks, on the dirt, sometime they called him Ricky Spin Twice. Not today. Today, they call him winner.
Doesn't matter what happens the rest of his life, he is a Daytona 500 champion.
With a big ring. And I mean a big ring. This is going to be a good celebration.
Who would have thought in this day of the 4-car mega teams that this little single car team would come here and win the 500, Jamie Lou?
Ricky Stenhouse Jr., it has been a long time coming. The one difference, Mike Kelly, your crew chief, is back. You won 2 championships together, and now you won the Daytona 500. Was it just magic together that made the difference here?
Yeah, I think this whole offseason, Mike just preached how much we all believed in each other. They left me a note on the car that said they believe in me and to go get the job done tonight. I made a few mistakes. We were able to battle back. This Kroger Cottonelle team worked really, really hard this offseason. Great pit stops, Hendrick engines, glad a Chevy won. Man, this is unbelievable. This is the site of my last win back in 2017. We've worked really hard. We had a couple shots last year to get a win and fell short. It was a tough season, but man, we got it done. Daytona 500.
You have a knack for this style of racing, and we went into overtime, so you had to do it a couple of times and earn it. What were those moments like, and what were you watching? What made the difference initially at the end?
Yeah, when the 8 went to the bottom there, I was able to push the 22 and the 5. We had a huge run. I was hoping we were going to get to the white there, and we didn't, so I knew I was going to take the top. I was hoping the 22 was going to follow, and he did. He was able to push us out. I went to the bottom, the 8 and the 22, got a huge run. The 5, split me in the middle, but another fellow dirt racer with Bell gave me a good shot down the little short chute into 1. And, man, we were out front when the caution came out. We were out of fuel, so the fuel light was going crazy. But, man, I hope y'all had fun. That was a heck of a race.
Congratulations. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. wins the Daytona 500.
Joey Logano comes up short in his bid for his second Daytona 500. Joey, you had a clear shot up front. You can see where you needed to be. What are the emotions right now?
Seconds the worst, man. He was so close, and leading the white flag lap there is up front. Kyle gave me a good push, and you're watching in the mirror, and you're 3 wide across there, and felt like the 3 wide was going to hurt 8 lane. It looked like Kyle was getting pushed ahead, and then Ricky started getting pushed ahead, and I knew if I went to the bottom, my car didn't handle good enough, and I already got pushed off the bottom once, and I thought if I go down there, I'm probably going to get wrecked, and I don't know if I can get down there in time to throw the block, and so I didn't want to wreck my car either, and I don't know. You don't expect them to.
He's doing pull-ups on the fence, catch fence.
And you put yourself in the best positions. You try to win at the start-finish line, and just
after driving 208 laps, he's sitting there doing pull-ups on the fence.
They wrecked that much, but congratulations to Ricky. There's nothing like winning the Daytona 500. That's why it stings so much finishing second. But still proud of the team. Still proud of the effort coming off the championship last year and bringing the Shell Penzo Mustang back towards the front and getting a Ford close to the front, which it was in victory lane now.
Thanks, Joey.
Ricky Stenhouse is a champion of the Daytona 500 and can hardly believe it. He bests Joey Logano in this.
All right, guys. NASCAR Cup Series Daytona 500. Yes, Dakota, thanks for jumping in. I appreciate you coming in. Stenhouse, Daytona 500 champion. Congrats to Ricky. It was a good race. Enjoyed it. I hope everybody else enjoyed the race and came in to say, hey, appreciate each and every one of you that came in and watched the race with me. Kind of hung out a little bit. I hope everybody else enjoyed the race. And, man, we got Fontana next week. If I may try doing that. I don't know how my schedule looks, but man, I hope everybody has a great night and go in there and love on your family every chance you get. Ricky Stenhouse, Daytona 500 champion, and Logano, runner-up. All right, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. And in the words of the Coach Plays YouTube channel, go check out the Coach Plays. Go check out my sports channel, Carver Sports Talk. And don't forget to go and Catfish Terry. But appreciate each and every one of you guys today. Hope everybody has a great night. And in the words of the Coach Plays, peace.